Alongside Ron Walton, Rick Watson here with you inside the press box at Bill Brown Stadium. Blacksburg and William Fleming tonight. Two teams at 2-0 on the young football season. Both have been very, very impressive so far through the first 2 weeks. Fleming knocking off Magna Vista in Pulaski County. Blacksburg beating Giles on the road. And, of course, last week the home debut in 2003, Ron. Very impressively shutting out the Graham G-men 28-0. A lot of big games tonight with other River Ridge teams. If you look at Salem so far, 2-0. They haven't allowed a point yet. And they're taking William Byrd on, who's undefeated also atop the Blue Ridge District with William Fleming. So that's a big game in itself.
It's going to be a huge game. And, of course, a lot of people here are going to be watching that game as they're going to be watching this game. So these two games tonight, it doesn't get better in Southwest Virginia or the whole state of Virginia, in fact.
Pulaski County, a home opener for Jack Turner, and they're still stinging a bit after losing last week 6-3. A lot of questions, of course, about a call late in the game. But you know what? You have a first-year coach. He's got to make that team his own identity. So home opener is very big for Jack Turner.
It's one of those deals, Rick, and you've seen it many times. If he had been right, if they'd kicked the field goal and come back and got the football and ran it down, he would have been the greatest coach alive. He would have been the second coming over in Pulaski. He made a call. He made the best call at the time. It was the wrong call. Or, how can you say it was the wrong call? The call just didn't work. And all week long I've heard people say, well, he made the wrong call. Well, if it had worked, it'd been the right call. So how do you know?
Elsewhere tonight, the games we're covering, New River Valley radio partners. We're going to have Radford High School at home against Laurel Park on WRAD. The game of the week on PSK is going to be a pretty good one. Two unbeatens as well. Floyd County at Carroll County. Both those teams at 2-0. And don't forget tonight, they're actually coming up Monday and Wednesday. You can watch the replay of this game and all Blacksburg home games on WTOB Channel 2. Mondays at 7 o'clock, Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Got a chance to watch a little bit of it. Hey, not bad for a first-time TV debut. Huh?
Good. Hey, the game we should be at is Narrows and Giles tonight. When I was leaving Parisburg, it looked like a Virginia Tech game. I'm telling you, the people over there are pretty darn excited tonight about that game. They expect 5,000 people at the game.
And they will be there. In other words, all Parisburg. Just shut down everything, right? Shut the town down.
It's a looter's delight, is what I told somebody.
Fleming won the toss. They elected to receive. Want that offense out onto the field. Blacksburg's going to kick it from right to left as you listen here on WFNR. Back deep for the Colonels. We're going to see a couple players, again, with a lot of speed we didn't mention in the open. It's going to be Kevin Moyer, and I believe that is Mywan Curtis on the far side. Tyler Corbin's going to put his toe through it from the 40-yard line momentarily. Again, a big home game. Number 2 on the season here at Bill Brown Stadium, and none bigger out of district as Corbin approaches the ball, and we are underway. A high, very short kick that's going to bounce at the 10, and it's going to be picked up and then dropped over there by Steve Robertson. A mistake by William Fleming as that ball was going to go out of bounds, Ron, and the Colonels were going to have it at the 35 because of the legal procedure flag, but instead Robertson touched it, and they're going to have it first down and 10 from their own 9.
The ball took a funny bounce when it hit. It kind of bounced straight up, but it didn't bounce sideways like he expected. So I'm not sure he thought that ball was going out of bounds. He couldn't handle it and just dropped it out of bounds. What a great break for Blacksburg right at the start of the game.
So the defense already has been carrying the team emotionally early in games. Now with a huge advantage as Fleming 91 yards from where they need to be. As here they come. A split backfield behind quarterback DeRay Hicks, 5'11", 165, just a junior. They're going to send Gresham, the big tight end, in motion from the right to the left, and they're going to toss it to Donnell Blake as he leapfrogs a defender at the 10. Will carry it out to about the 12, a gain of 3, more like 2 to the 11. And on the tackle for Blacksburg was Sales along with Herbie Hypes.
Then they tried the left side of the Blacksburg, or the right side of the Blacksburg defense that time. Not a lot going over there, but I got to ask you, Rick, if you're a high school quarterback, how'd you like to line up behind number 72, Archie Robinson, 361 pounds?
He never misses a pregame meal.
No.
Now we have an offset I formation. Twin receivers out to the near side. Blake's going to take the handoff from Hicks and pound ahead. Break a tackle to 15, to the 20. First down all the way out to the 24. Ronnie turned about a 4-yard gain into a 14-yard gain. Terrific running as he broke 2 tackles at the initial point of contact.
Yeah, that time they just didn't wrap him up, Rick. They put some hits, they put some helmets on him, but they just didn't get their arms around him and wrap him up, so he was able to bounce off and pick up another 5 yards on second effort.
Backs will now be in the eye behind Hicks. Childress the fullback and Blake the tailback. Receiver to each side of the field. The first throw, and Hicks is sacked Bennett came on a complete blitz right up the middle. And he goes down hard back at the 15. It's going to be a loss of 9. And Shane Bennett, nobody picked him up wearing the road white.
Had two linebackers on the inside blitz that time. Nobody picked him up. They blew right by the center there on the offensive line. And, the guy, he never had a chance to set and throw at all. Never saw him coming either.
2nd down and 19 for Fleming. And they get an offset I formation, receiver to each side of the field, Curtis and Robertson. A toss to the near side. Here's Blake cutting up at the 15 to the 20. And he gets about 5 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 14. Hypes in on the stop along with Matt Woods for Blacksburg. And boy, did you see that initial cut there by Blake?
Yeah, that's what we talked very early on. They're going to cut back a lot. Blacksburg had the outside, defended well that time. But the play looked at start like it was going to be for no gain. He was able to cut it back and pick up about 5.
It's the battle of the royal blue and gold here tonight. These teams wear the exact same colors. Blacksburg wears the home royal blue jerseys, and Fleming wears the road whites with royal blue helmets. Here's a toss again on 3rd and long to Blake. He's at the 20 to the 25, and this time there's those hats, 4 of them, wearing the royal blue jerseys around the ball carrier. He picked up maybe 2 yards. Sales was there, Owen, Wheeler, Bennett. 4th down in a punting situation for the Colonels.
That time they took the ball outside. They got a little bit of the corner, but Sam Wheeler cut him off real quick, and there was just nowhere to cut back or go. So that good stand there by the Blacksburg defense.
Coming in to do the kicking for William Fleming, it's going to be number 19, Troy Dempsey, a junior. Had a very good game punting last week against Pulaski. Bennett's going to retreat to his 37-yard line.
Bennett averaging 8.5 yards per return.
There's the kick by Dempsey, a high wobbler. Bennett runs up on it, catches it at the 45, and goes down 2 yards further up the field. Good coverage on the play by Fleming's Jamar Preston. Excellent field position, though, for Blacksburg. Their initial possession tonight, Ron. 1st down and 10. They're going to mark it officially the 48.
And that's one of the things we talked about early on, the kicking game for Blacksburg. Clearly, they did make a mistake returning that kickoff, but it was a good kickoff in the corner. Trapped them back on the 8-yard line. Now Blacksburg is sitting on the 48-yard line with great field position after that punt.
So here comes Dave Half in this Blacksburg offense. Ball directly in the middle of the field. Bruins working from right to left. Owen and Reynolds split out to the right. Backs are going to be lined up in the I. Wheeler and Bennett. Remember Fleming, they're big and fast on defense. Those linebackers are the centerpiece. They have a strong secondary. We'll see if Blacksburg tries to run right at them. I don't think they can run wide on this defense because of Fleming's lateral pursuit. Whenever Pulaski County tried that last week, it didn't work. And now we have a holding call, late flag after that kick that Blacksburg's going to decline against William Fleming. So we're about ready to go. I don't know.
I never saw that flag.
The flag was bunched up down here at the 30-yard line. I don't think anybody saw it. But they declined it, which is the right thing. And now from the 48-yard line, the Bruins have their first offensive possession as Half brings them set. Again, twins out to the right, and there it is, Ron, the 6-man front by William Fleming. Half takes the snap, rolls to his right, looking to throw it on the run. Wide opens Reynolds at the 40, 35, far sideline, all the way down to the 29-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of 24 yards if it stands. It's a late flag coming in. There may have been an illegal block across the way on Blacksburg.
That time they ran a clear out, Rick. The wide receiver went and cleared out both the defensive back, the cornerback, and the safety on the long route. And then he just hooked up and wide open, at least 10 yards open.
But it's going to come back. Holding against Blacksburg. There was a player out. Reynolds had some help going down the field. That should be from the spot of the foul, however. And we'll see how far this pushes Blacksburg back. But it was a great throw and catch to start the game. And as we mentioned, roll Half out, give him a little bit more time. He's more comfortable throwing on the run.
Yeah, it'll only take her 2 or 3 times on those, Rich. And that time the pass was complete basically because you had a wide receiver taking out the defensive back and the safety. But neither linebacker bought into the pass at all. They stayed around the line of the scrimmage trying to contain the run. So it'll only take 2 or 3 of those, and it'll move those linebackers back.
There will still be a gain on the play as the ball is going to go back to the 42. They're going to bring the sticks across to see if it's a first down, so you can negate the 24-yard pickup. But it may have been enough still after the penalty for the initial first down of the game for the Bruins. They bring them out and stretch them, and it's going to be a first down and 10 for Blacksburg. So not as far down the field as you would like after that big play, but the penalty at least doesn't cost them a down.
Well, it doesn't cost them a down, but number 2, Rick, it's going to put this defense now, it's going to put something in their head. They know Half will throw the football. And in fact, they know he can throw it fairly well because that was a strike.
That was a beautiful throw by Half, sore shoulder and all. Twin receivers to the near side now. Owens in the slot, Reynolds is wide. Backs are in the eye with Wheeler and Bennett. Half under center, going to hand it off to Bennett to tailback, and he sprints across the 40 to about the 37. Tough 5 yards on the play. Tackle was made up front by Brandon Radford, 5'10", a junior for William Fleming.
You know, I think one of the things you're going to see tonight, Rick, is Bennett, has really not played a whole lot in that backfield the last 2 games. He's played first and second quarters, but we've seen other backs at the end of the game. I think you're going to see experience be the key tonight, and I think he's going to get a lot more carries than what we've seen in those first 2 games.
8 minutes, 10 seconds to go on a turning first quarter clock. He spotted the ball closer to the 37, so it's a gain of 4. Turley in at fullback. Bennett remains the tailback for this second down play. Half, short snap. They hand it off to the fullback, Turley. He nearly squirted through an open seam. Will fall ahead for about 1.5 yards to the 36-yard line. Casey Corner hit him and knocked him down there, so it's going to be 3rd down and 5 for the Bruins.
Already Coach Chris showing some signs of he's going to keep his players rested, bringing Sam Wheeler out of the game, putting Turley into the game very early on. That's something you probably wouldn't expect, but he's going to keep these kids fresh, obviously.
Big 3rd down play for the Bruins. Not trying to look ahead too far, but you wonder if they don't convert here, if Coach Chris might be tempted to go for it on 4th down. We'll see what they can pick up on 3rd and 5. Twins out to the right. Owen and Reynolds. Turley and Bennett once again in the backfield. There's the snap. Howe rolling to his right, looking, throws on the run. It's caught, first down by Reynolds at the 23-yard line. A pickup of 13 yards and a 1st and 10. A laser thrown by House.
It was the exact same play they had run earlier. He rolled to the right. You had your wide receiver go and take out the cornerback and the safety with him on a deep pattern, and then he cut in behind both of them, was wide open. A little bit better defense, but only by 5 yards.
And we thought that would be the way Coach Chris would try to attack this defense. Roll out your quarterback, have him throw early. So far, so good. House 2 of 2.
And one thing we'll say, Rick, is that offensive line is doing a good job pass blocking.
That's a very good point. Nobody has streaked through yet. Uncontested. I formation. They're going to hand it off to Bennett over left tackle. Nearly broke it out wide, but again, it's tough to run east-west against this defense, as the hit was initially put on by Corner. Then Dwayne Priest finished off Bennett, and that's one of those you look like you have a bit of daylight. You try to juke, next thing you know, there's 4 white jerseys around.
He had a hole, and I'm sure he saw the same thing we saw. What he didn't see was the little linebacker sitting behind the hole that just about took his head off when he came through there. But, yeah, the holes close up very quickly because this defense is very fast.
North-south. It has to be the key words on the running game tonight.
No doubt.
No lateral running against Fleming's defense. They're too good for that. They're too quick for that. Now Wheeler back in running fullback. Wide side of the field out to the right. That's where Reynolds is lined up. Half, straight drop this time. Now he's going to push it out to the right. Wide open Wheeler. He's at the 15 to the 10, and Sam barrels ahead to about the 9-yard line. He just kind of waited, Ron. It was a hesitation. Looked like he was going to help out with the blocking. Didn't release. Put a hand up. Nobody was around him, and Howe found him.
Well-designed play. The tight end and the wide receiver that time took out both the linebacker and the cornerback, and he just slipped out of the backfield after a little bit of a delay. He looked like he was going to block and then just slid out for the gain.
Gain of 14. Now it's 1st and goal to go from the 9-yard line. Backs are in the eye. And now we have whistles, and I believe we have a timeout on the field. We do. We will take it as well as Blacksburg takes their first. Bruins on the move. When we come back to Bill Brown after this, you're in tune to Blacksburg football on WFNR.
This used to be a good neighborhood. Now it's a mess. You got all these polyps running around. Stick it to the devil.
Colon cancer almost always starts with the polyp. Get the polyp early and stop colon cancer before it even starts.
Where'd you think you were running to, huh?
I didn't even see you guys there.
Get the test, get the polyp.
I want to talk to my lawyer!
Get the cure.
I got a phone call!
Your neighbors helped save a life last night. Be a volunteer. You can help save a life. You provide the time, we'll provide the training. To learn more, call the Blacksburg Rescue Squad at 961-1189.
I'm principal of a new kind of public school. It's open up to 15 hours a day, year-round. It has loads of academic, cultural, and recreational activities. We have medical and dental services right here. Our teachers have more time to teach. Our students are better prepared to learn. There's just one problem. We can't get the kids to go home.
Find out how your public school can be more like this one. Call 1-877-LOVE-TO-LEARN.
Bruins on the move. First down and goal from the 9-yard line. 6:11 to go as we're back here at Bill Brown Stadium. Initial possession for Blacksburg.
William Fleming took that time out, needing to regroup a little bit and figure out what was going on here.
So here we go, out of the eye. The Bruins will work. Owen out to the near side. House going to roll out to the left. Looking. He can run it or throw it. He's going to turn it up. He's at the 5. He's at the 2. He dives. Touchdown, Blacksburg Bruins. House went airborne from the 3-yard line and dove right over the defender, Dwayne Priest. Put the first 6 points on the board for the Royal Blue and Gold.
And once again, that play was completely set up by the 2 or 3 passes that were made prior to it. That time, Half came to the left on a rollout. He sent 2 receivers to the back of the end zone. It completely cleared out that entire left side for him to get the room to get into the end zone running.
Now Tyler Corbin in to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Daniel Smith. A low snap. Tyler puts his toe through it, and it is no good. No good. Daniel did the best he could with the low snap, and that really affected the trajectory of the kick. But nonetheless, 6-0 Bruins, 6:03 to go. We'll come back for the kick after this here on WFNR.
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person who loved me till the end. People, let me tell you about him. He's so much fun, whether we're talking intimately.
You don't need to be bigger than life to be a good dad. You just need to spend time with your kids. It takes a man to be a dad.
So, son, what'd you do in school today?
Well, first I went to spelling, and then that was over. And then study hall, and then that was over. And then it was lunchtime, so I went to lunch. And then I ate it, and then lunchtime was
The less
over.
art
Then
kids
we had
get,
recess, and then that
the
was
more it
over,
shows.
And school was over, and now I'm here.
Are yours getting enough?
Sounds like yesterday.
Art. Ask for more.
Well, Ron, the drive, 7 plays, 52 yards. It took 3 minutes and 4 seconds, capped off by a half 9-yard run. That's the good news. The bad news is Corbin, well, he missed the extra point, but it wasn't his fault. It was a low snap. And
yeah, he never got that ball
had it.
upright. I mean, he had it when he got it teed up, it was at an angle, and there was just no way to kick that ball through. But you have to be impressed, Rick.
No doubt.
3 beautiful passes in that opening drive, and that's something clearly William Fleming did not prepare for.
It's something they didn't have to contend with very often a week ago against Pulaski County out of the wing tee. They just don't throw it very much. Corbin from right to left, going to put his toe through it at the 40-yard line. And it's another short, high kick. It's going to be taken over there by Casey Corner. He's at the 25 to the 30, far sideline 35, and he's pushed out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. So you sacrifice field position a little bit as to kick it to one of their game breakers, and we'll see if that strategy pays off throughout the evening.
Yeah, it was just a little chip shot on his part. All he was trying to do was get it over the first group of blocking backs, and that's all he was trying to get done, is to kick it to somebody without all that speed. So clearly Coach Chris saw something on the game films that he didn't particularly like in the return game, so he's staying away from it.
Neil Bakari eligible tonight for Blacksburg, Ron, for the first time, the 5'10", 250-pound senior. We'll get to that story a little later on. He's in there now along the defensive line. Offset eye, handoff to the fullback, Childers. He's got some room to the 40, and he carries ahead to the 41-yard line, a gain of 6 yards on first down as Sales grabbed his shoe tops and put him to the turf.
Yeah, that time Island Price did break his block and get into the backfield and almost disrupted the play, but just couldn't keep the receiver or the running back within his grasp.
Bakari had to set out a 2-game suspension to start the season for an incident that occurred last year in the playoff loss to Heritage, but he was been very impressive in practice, even though he knew he wasn't going to see any game time. And here on second down, Blacksburg bottled up the running play to the fullback. Same play they ran a moment ago. Byron Hurdle, Joe Turley, and along with Bakari to make the stop. Maybe a loss of a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, that time, Rick, about the same play we saw a few seconds ago. That time they got penetration and he went nowhere.
So the Bruins again trying to hold Fleming.
Awfully liberal spot there.
Yeah, they kind of moved that ball up a little bit. From a yard loss back to the 41. 3rd and 4. Big play here for Blacksburg. They just got on the scoreboard. They could stop them again, 3 and out. That'd be a big, big momentum booster. Blake's going to go in motion for the tailback position out to the right. 3 receivers are there now. Here's Hicks. He's been flushed out of the pocket, and he goes down back at the 36. It was Alan Price who got up the field, and Matt Woods put him down. The defense came on a delayed blitz on the right side. Too many blue jerseys to block, and it's 4th down.
That time Alan Price got through, but Shane Bennett was coming hard on the right side. Shane Bennett again breaking through that line. Nobody picked him up on the blitz, and they just basically had to move out of the pocket, and there was people waiting on him. Great coverage downfield, too, a little bit.
Oh, yes, it was.
Great coverage.
When the 3 receivers were over here, they had a mismatch, but Blacksburg responded very, very quickly. And now we have a timeout for Blacksburg. Second one they have used. They did call that initial timeout. The scoreboard said Fleming took it, but I thought the referee the first time also pointed in Blacksburg's direction.
I don't think so. I'm not. I
have to find out from the official score over here. But in any event, we'll keep it here as.
Now they have both teams with 2 timeouts.
Okay, well, we'll trust the scoreboard. They know more than us, right?
Yeah, I guess.
4:15 to go.
Let's not debate it.
That's right. No, we won't debate it. 6-0 right now, Bruins. Very impressive the way the team has come out, I think. A lot of pressure, knowing how important this game is and wanting to put on a good performance at home. And so far, so good against this very talented Fleming team.
Well, I think Shane Graham has clearly been the star very early on. He's carried some of the burden without the running from the backfield, and he certainly played great at linebacker at this point of the game, Rick.
Here's Dempsey. They had a problem last week very late in the game with a bad snap. They had to throw the ball instead of punting it deep inside their territory. Heavy pressure. Dempsey gets it away, and Bennett catches at the 30, and for the second time, not much room up the field. Great coverage by William Fleming as Jamar Preston got down there along with Casey Corner, but not bad field position for the Bruins' second possession from the 32-yard line, leading it 6-0.
Blacksburg was coming after that punt, Rick. I think maybe they think they might can get one tonight. They weren't far off that one.
Hey, you got to block at least, one a game? You got a streak going right
absolutely.
Now. Absolutely. Here comes Dave Howe. Boy, was he impressive on that first drive with his arm and with his feet. 3 completions. Nice 9-yard touchdown run. I'll tell you, he was a tailback a year ago. What a weapon, a guy that comfortable rolling out of the pocket.
Well, he certainly is looking like a quarterback tonight and not a tailback. But I have a hunch he's going to get his opportunity to look like a tailback very soon.
I formation, they hand it off. This is going to be Wise, Blacksburg's leading rusher coming in. There they tried to run right at him. Again, 7 men came across for William Fleming. Gain of maybe a yard. It's going to be 2nd and 9.
Yeah, that time they bring in Wise. It is a little bit of a change direction than Shane Bennett. Shane a little bit more of a north-south runner, and Wise a little bit more of an east-west runner. But team speed is absolutely going to prohibit a lot of east-west running tonight.
Reynolds going to be split out to the right along with Owen for 2nd down and 9. Wheeler, Wise in the backfield. 3.5 minutes to play, 6-0 Bruins. Howe takes the snap, hands off. This is Wise trying to cut it back to the 35 and will carry ahead of the 36. A tough 3 yards. A big hit put up front. There was Kitchens from his linebacker spot. So now it's going to be 3rd down and about 6 yards for the Bruins.
Yeah, I believe they're going to find the going a little tough up between the tackles here for a while, Rick. They're going to have to throw the ball a little bit more. You know, this is exactly the situation Dave Chris didn't want to find himself into with 3rd and over 5 now because they become a little bit predictable on offense.
Ball just over the 36-yard line. Ball directly in the middle of the field. Howe checked the play at the line of scrimmage, takes the snap, rolls to his right, hands off to Wheeler. Ball's fumbled, and it's picked up by Howe. Fortunately, he saw that play from the beginning, had his head up. Sam never really received the football, and at the 39-yard line, it's going to be a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. So for the first time, here comes the Blacksburg punting unit. There's some confusion there on that play, and it's the play we saw last week work very well against Graham, where you see Half take the snap, kind of hold it for a second, and then delay it, and that time Sam couldn't hang on to it.
Yeah, that time he gave the ball to Wheeler. Wheeler just never really got the snap very well, and they're very fortunate they got that ball back.
Wheeler at the 26. You have to be careful here when you kick it to William Fleming. A low line drive. It's going to bounce at the 25, take a hop, and Mawan Curtis has it at the 25. He's going to be brought down. No, he broke a tackle. Here he goes near sideline. 40, 45, 50. Nobody's going to catch him. And what did I just say? At the 10-5, touchdown Colonels, no flags. A nifty 77-yard punt return for a touchdown by Mawan Curtis, and we are tied at 6.
Oh, what speed. Byron Hurdle chased him to about the 20, and Byron Hurdle said, forget this. This kid's gone. You know what? Again, they had very good coverage on that punt, Rick. They just didn't wrap him up. Put about 4 helmets on him right at the beginning of the return, and they just couldn't get him down.
And now that missed extra point for Blacksburg really comes into play. Speed kills, and that's why you don't want him one-on-one. And once he broke the initial tackle, Curtis, when he found the right side and they had the wall sealed off, it was lights out. Nobody was going to catch him from behind, and there's just a sample of the kind of athleticism and speed William Fleming possesses. As now Dempsey will try to give them the lead as DeRay Hicks will hold the ball at the 10-yard line. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. 7-6 Fleming. Back for the Fleming kickoff after this. You're in tune to Blacksburg football here on WFNR.
Batteries and flashlight. Okay, you know what?
That guy? Look.
Okay, girls at 3 o'clock.
What is he looking at? He's looking at us. What do you think?
Oh, that's so obvious. Captain Obvious has scored again. Open your window, say something.
Oh, he's rolling his window down.
Hi. Hi.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
To a child, a little of your time can make a lifetime of difference. That's why the Greenville Family Partnership sponsored a hike, because kids with something to do are less likely to do drugs.
Standing right in front of them.
Whether you're a good storyteller or a good listener, you can help. To find out about community drug prevention programs, call toll-free 1-877-KIDS-313.
I can keep a kid off drugs.
Alongside Ron Walton, Rick Watson back with you as William Fleming's just stunned the home crowd here at Mawan Curtis with a beautiful run. Looked as if he was going to be tackled a couple times, broke through the pile, got loose to the near side, and he got the corner, and he was long gone. 7-6 Fleming. Bennett back deep along with Wise and Byron Hurdle to receive the kick. See if Blacksburg can answer with a strong return of this kickoff. Officials bring him set. Dempsey approaches the ball, puts his toe through it, and it's a high, deep kick. They kicked it away from everybody. Wise has to go back to the right to the 10-yard line. He's at the 15, still running laterally, cuts it up at the 20, 25, and will go down at the 27-yard line. Making the stop for Fleming was Corey Steelman along with Donnell Blake. So, adversity now for Blacksburg, Ron. Let's see how they respond at home.
Well, you know, I think we saw very quickly there why Coach Chris wants to try to kick it away from some of those guys returning the kicks. That time, Sam Wheeler just kicked a really low-lying drive if it was able to return, even though there was good coverage on the punt. Just once he broke that initial wave of tacklers, there was nobody left.
Wheeler and Wise in the backfield, 2 receivers to the right. Half takes the snap. He's going to roll that way. This is what they had success at the first time. He's flush. He's going to run across the 30, 35, 40. Nice play by Half to take it across the 40. We'll say he stepped out of bounds at the 39-yard line, but it is a gain of 11 yards and a 1st and 10 for the Bruins.
That time, Chris Ryder made a very good block on the outside linebacker to free that play.
1:34 to go. A very entertaining first quarter from Bill Brown Stadium. Home team jumped out 6-0. Half, a 9-yard touchdown scamper. They missed the extra point, and then Mawan Curtis put his team ahead with a terrific punt return, and the extra point was good by Dempsey. From the 39-yard line, the Bruins on the far hash mark will send Sales to the right. They'll work out of the eye. Wheeler and Wise. Half under center. Fleming shows blitz. They take the snap, balls on the turf, and I think William Fleming got it. Nope, they're going to say Blacksburg got it. We don't know. Both teams are pointing in their own team's direction. There were a lot of white jerseys around the football, and fortunately, Blacksburg was able to get it back. Wheeler fell back on the football. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Half really never had the ball in the exchange that time, Rick.
And for the second time, that same play that they tried to Sam has ended up on the turf.
Yep.
And you can't afford to give it up. You can't give up a 39-yard field to this team. So Wheeler and Bennett back in there. Josh Shale's going to be split out to the near side. 2 tight ends for Coach Chris. We're under a minute. Half under center. Flushed out of the pocket, throws off his back foot, intercepted by Priest. He's going to go for a touchdown. 20, 10, 5, touchdown. A bad decision by Half. And they put up 13 points, one with the punt return, this one by their defense. And the offense hasn't even got started yet. And they lead it by 6.
You know, and that time, you're right, a poor decision on Hal's part to get rid of the football. He was being blitzed by a linebacker. The linebacker had him in his grasp, trying to make something happen, tried to dump the ball off to Wheeler, and the defensive back just stepped right between him and the football.
The wheels have come off quickly for the Bruins. Dempsey in to attempt his 2nd extra point. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is no good. He missed it to the right. A break for Blacksburg. 40 seconds to go. We'll take a timeout. Now 13-6. Fleming. We'll be back for the kick after this here on WFNR.
I hang out with a pretty trashy circle. The circle that helps this circle by recycling trash. We sort glass, plastic, separate cans, stack newspapers, and magazines. Now, thanks to us, there are lots of products made from things we've already recycled. This cereal box wants your Sunday paper. These paper clips, in a more daring life, a 56 convertible. The circle works like this. It starts when we recycle trash at home and at work. It's completed when we buy products made from or packaged in recycled materials. How do you know the difference? Check the label for something called post-consumer recycled content. It looks like this. Make a mental note. Then buy the highest percentage of it you can find. You'll save a tree, you'll save energy, and in your own way, you'll help save the world. Complete the circle.
Call 1-800-2-RECYCLE for your free shopping guide. Environmental Defense, finding the ways that work.
Hey, we tried our...
Don't tell me to calm down. I hate that.
Stop acting like an animal. You're in public.
I will knock you into next week.
Stop it.
No, I'm not gonna stop it. That's it. We are leaving
Acting like an
right
animal.
now. We are leaving right now. Get up. Stand up. I said we're leaving.
Okay.
Blocking the back.
All right, was expecting that update after the quarter, but in any event, the kickoff, we didn't miss a whole lot. Wise takes it to the 17, and there's a flag down.
We've got a block in the back, and that's going to come back.
So now you're looking, Ron, you're down 13-6. Started out so well, you're going to start this third drive from inside your 10-yard line. The quarterback's confidence might be shaken after that last throw. Fleming, all the momentum, wearing the road white. The visitors from Roanoke, they've taken over this game with a dynamic punt return. Officially, the yardage was 88 yards, and now an interception of 35 yards by Priest.
You know, I thought about the quarterback's confidence a little bit, and now they're going to bring Daniel into the game, but I thought Half was playing well up to that point in time.
Ball's going to be marched back all the way to the 6-yard line for Blacksburg. I don't think Fleming's not just going to take some gambles here. Lay their ears back and just come right at you. Owen out to the right, to the
Tough
near side is
situation for
Reynolds.
Daniel Smith.
This is very tough for Smith back in for the first time this game, and he's done a great job throwing early in the season, and they hand it off. First back through, nice run on first down. That was Wheeler out to about the 10-yard line. He's got 4, and that may have been the last snap as we have 20 seconds to go. 2nd down and 6 forthcoming for Blacksburg. Sam, a couple carries officially for 7 yards. He's fumbled the ball twice. Fortunately, Blacksburg recovered them both. I don't think they're going to have enough time to get this snap off.
No, I think basically they're going to let the clock run down. They are hurrying to the line, though.
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. Well, started out great for the home team, but Fleming has come on strong, and after one, it's 13-6 Colonels. Ron and I back for second quarter action after this. You're in tune to Blacksburg Bruins football here on WFNR.
Security, I think, is not always a given, which may have been something that we took for granted in the past.
To ultimately be the victor in the war against terrorism, we need all Americans to be engaged, down to the point where we ask mothers and fathers to think about doing some simple things at home to protect themselves and protect their children.
No terror that's even greater, not knowing if your children are safe, if your family's safe. Doesn't come worse than that.
People and your children understand that there is a plan.
Having these plans in place is just sort of common sense.
Establish like a communication plan, how to get in touch with each other.
You'll have a radio, you'll have a flashlight, you'll have batteries.
Make sure you have enough water and food.
You have your basic essentials that you would need in everyday life.
You will have done something to prepare. You were in control. You had a choice. We're asking America to be ready.
People will pull together and people will make it through this.
As we switch ends, Blacksburg now going from left to right, down 13-6. Reynolds to the left side, along with Will Matthews, the two receivers each side. Here on the right, we're going to have Wheeler and Owen, and the officials throw flags before the teams were even down their stances.
Something happened. Blacksburg, the offensive line's clapping, and they're saying it's against William Fleming.
Well, it's good news for Blacksburg. Offside, they say. That's a quick whistle, isn't it, when the teams didn't appear to be down in their stances. But, hey, the Bruins will take it. It's not going to make this 3rd down and 1.
That one, I'm just shaking my head. Hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't see anybody for the defense or the offense down in their stances yet, but they threw the flag. And now we have another stoppage in play. I believe
Blacksburg's taking a timeout.
Another timeout taken by Blacksburg. We just started the quarter, and the Bruins have to call a timeout. So let's go ahead and step out as well. We're looking for the first play officially of second quarter action when we come back here from Bill Brown Stadium on WFNR.
How do they call an offsides without the ball being
I know.
set?
How could they do that when nobody was down in their stance? Hey, Bri, tell Marty, if we play a scoreboard update during the quarter instead of afterwards, let's just do that by itself because it takes up so much time, all right? We won't play another spot with it. All right, Daniel Smith under center for 2nd down and 1 for Blacksburg from the 15-yard line. They're going to hand it off to Bennett, and I don't think he got it. Second effort, Maria moved the sticks for Blacksburg. Hit was put up front by Casey Corner. And it's going to be interesting to see whether or not Blacksburg has a first down. Great pursuit that time by William Fleming, and nope, he didn't get it. It's going to be 3rd down and still a yard. No gain on the play by Bennett as Fleming dominating right now, Ron, on both sides of the football.
Yeah, that time he tried to spin it off and pick up extra yards, but Fleming was just too tough on their defensive front that time.
I guess I should say two of the sides on football, defensively and special teams.
Yeah.
Their offense really hasn't done a whole lot. Well, 3rd down again and 1 yard. Had 2 plays to try to pick up 1 yard. Here's a handoff to Bennett, and he's going to have it this time as he sprints across the 16. He got to the 17. A yard further than he needed to be as he went down in the arms of Kitchings, but 1st down and 10 for the Bruins, and that's the first thing they had to do after giving up that interception was move the sticks.
Yep. Yeah, they had to get a first down. They needed to get a little confidence back. And that time Shane just absolutely went north-south of the running and wouldn't be denied for the first down.
First quarter stats, Blacksburg, 10 carries for 39 yards. They were 3 of 4 throwing for 47 yards, 1 pick. Fleming just 8 carries for 17 yards. I formation for Blacksburg, Wheeler and Bennett. And somebody moved up front again. They looked like Fleming came across, but were they drawn off? We'll see.
You know, that time, Daniel Smith did a great job of drawing him across, but I'm kind of surprised he didn't get the flag for his head movement. But he did a good job. They drew him right off.
Offsides against Fleming will make this a 1st down and 5 and take the football out to about the 23-yard line. 1st down and 5, Wheeler and Bennett again. Reynolds out to the left, same formation. 2 tight ends, Drumheller and Ingebrigtsen. They show blitz. They hand it off to Bennett, and he smashes ahead to about the 28-yard line. Near 1st down. Depends on where they spot it. Shane's hat came rolling off there.
Yeah, it did.
It's either going to be the 2nd and very short or a 1st down. They're going to bring the chains across. Nope, it is going to be a 1st down. 5-yard pickup for Shane Bennett.
One of the things I am impressed with about William Fleming so far is Maurice Kitchens. He is absolutely, this kid is a tough linebacker.
6'4", 230, runs like a gazelle. Great instincts, came from North Carolina. And he's a young man that's going to be playing football at the next level next year somewhere.
I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Reynolds out to the left side. Indians working from left to right. 10:28 to go. They need some points. Down 13-6. Smith under center. Wheeler and Bennett. Longer snap count. They're going to hand it off to Bennett to the 30. Gets outside face mask to the 35, and no flag was thrown.
Oh, where is the flag there?
Wow, Bennett nearly had his head ripped off, and nobody called it.
Now we got a flag. Now I believe we do have a flag now.
36-yard line. It's a gain of about 8 yards. And I don't know what the official was not looking at there, because that was a dangerous play. And I believe you're right, Ron. A late flag will tack on 15 here. Or it should.
I'm not sure what. I don't think a flag has been thrown.
There's the face
there it
mask. Everybody saw it. The Blacksburg sideline erupted. We saw it from up here. The fans stood very upset, and we never really saw a yellow hanky. I think somebody made that call without a flag being thrown, and it is going to be 15 yards and take the ball near midfield.
Yeah, he must have used that flag for his nose early in the game because it never came out.
Adversity for Blacksburg. They haven't had a lot of that so far early in this 2003 season. Fleming shows you the weapons they have. An 88-yard punt return and a 35-yard interception return for touchdowns. Owen out to the left. The ball goes across the 50 to the Colonels' 48. 2 minutes into the second quarter. Wheeler and Hurdle in the backfield. Here's Hurdle cutting right, cutting left, going down at the 44. He's got 4, 2nd down and 6. Stop was made by Curtis along with Dennis Hardy for the Colonels.
Again, I'm impressed with Coach Chris and the way he's rotating those running backs. Shane Bennett and Hurdle give them just 2 different looks altogether. As will Wise give him a different look when he gets into the game in just a minute. And it's going to keep that defense a little bit off balance.
Daniel Smith remains the field general for this possession. Dave House out after that last interception. Smith came into the game really after a strong performance against Graham. He's going to send Owen out to the left. Tight-eye formation with Turley and Hurdle. Fleming shows blitz. They come. Hurdle bobbled it. Now has it 40, 35. And if he couldn't have got away from Curtis, that would have been an interesting foot race. As it is, it's going to be a gain of about 9 yards and a 1st down. Byron Hurdle also was a quarterback a year ago. Now he's a tailback. So you had Half who goes from tailback to quarterback. You have Hurdle from quarterback to tailback, and they look like interchangeable parts early this season.
That time, I'll tell you something. Alan Price absolutely pancaked the defensive tackle for William Fleming and opened that hole wide open.
Alan Price isn't bad, is he?
No, he's not.
High formation again. Your tailback is Hurdle. Smith going to hand it off to him. Looking over the right side, he stutter steps and will go down after a 2-yard pickup to the 33. First man to hit him was Gordon Harris, 5'10", a sophomore for William Fleming. 2nd and 8.
Tell you somebody else that I've been watching here a little bit tonight, Rick, and that's Jansen's on the offensive line for Blacksburg. He has played a very good game so far. He's opening up some holes, and he is absolutely taking on his man and whipping him just about every time.
Bennett Jansen's provides a lot of much-needed leadership across that offensive line for Blacksburg.
He and Price on that right side.
Oh, man.
Quite a combination.
That's tough. Again, this time twin receivers to the left. That's the wide side of the field. Smith's going to take the snap, roll that way. Looking one-on-one, going for Owen deep. Ball's underthrown and intercepted for the second time by Priest. Or he dropped it. Are they going to say he hung on to it? Or did he?
Bringing it back.
They're going to bring it back. Incomplete, they say. The ball did come out. Looked like the ground had knocked it out. That was one-on-one, Priest against Owen. And when you underthrow the football, you talk about makeup speed. Priest was right there. It's going to go down as an incompletion. So a break for Blacksburg. It's going to be 3rd down and 8 from the 33-yard line.
I don't know whether Daniel Smith just didn't have a good grip on that ball or not, but he kind of threw a wounded duck up there and it really turned into a jump ball that was underthrown. Now we've got a holding call that's coming back from Blacksburg. That's going to pull him back 10.
So a late holding call will push the ball to the 43.5. So it's not going very well right now for the home team. It's going to be 2nd down and about 19 yards to go. They have to take it to just inside the 25. Bennett and Wheeler back in there. That's a lot of yards to negotiate with this defense and the speed they have with 8 minutes to go. You're down 13-6. You can't afford to force something here and make another mistake. Owen to the near side. Wheeler and Bennett behind Smith. Let's see if they roll him out again. 2 tight end set. They will. This time to the right. Looking. Somebody in the flat. Ingebrigtsen has it at the 34. A dangerous throw. They get back the penalty yardage, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 9 to go. Nice catch by Ingebrigtsen, but not a lot on the throw as Fleming had 2 players, Ron, charging at that football, going for the interception.
Yeah, he tried to, he had several players in between he and Ingebrigtsen, and he tried to just float it over the linebackers, and he was successful, but that play had disaster written all over it if it hadn't been so well thrown at and well directed.
Seth has great hands, 6'2", 220. He's a big target out there in the flat.
Yeah, and he showed himself that time, too.
All right, here we go. Big 3rd down and 9 for Blacksburg. Look how tight they are lined up in the eye. Wheeler is right on the hip of Smith.
Blitz is coming.
Rolling out to the left. Blacksburg picks it up. Smith throws it high. Reynolds leaped at it and dropped it at the 21. Oh, mercy. Alan Reynolds has made a lot of great catches early this season. That would have been a very special opportunity for the senior receiver. Instead, it's going to be 4th down, and you have a kicker who can reach this, but do you line him up and go for it on 4th and 9? I don't see the punting unit. I don't think he punted here.
Yeah, ball was thrown just a little bit behind him, but it was a ball he certainly could have come up with, but that Blacksburg's going to have to make those. They're going to convert those before the night's out, Rick.
And we're seeing
they're going to go for it.
Execution not being applied tonight that we saw in the first 2 games. Big play in this game. 4th down and 9 from the 34. Out to the left is Owen. That's where the motion of the play is headed. It's thrown short to Wheeler, and, well, that didn't gain a yard. I'm not sure why. That ball was thrown 9 yards behind where they needed to get, right in front of 3 white jerseys as Gresham put Sam down. Fleming holds. It's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Colonels.
Call that the Tom Landry 3rd and 15 play. He always threw it to the back out of the backfield. I don't know why.
And it didn't work a lot then, and it didn't work now. Then. That was a curious call, but the Bruins now reeling a bit. And this is the time where the defense needs to maybe get the momentum back. 7:04 to go, 13-6. Fleming from right to left. Ray Hicks brings them out. Offset I formation. Priest now your tailback instead of Blake, and he takes it over left tackle, reverses field. Look at that cut to the 40, 45, 47-yard line. He's got 14 yards. He carried Josh Sales 4 yards up the field, and that time the point of contact dominated by that Fleming front 5.
Yep, they just really took the line off their feet, and, the linebackers were just not quick enough to handle this running back. He is very quick. He just darts through that line, which a little bit like Sean Alexander running the football the way he's darting back and forth.
And it's so hard to get a hand on these backs. They're so quick and adept in the open field. Again, an offset off. 2 receivers near side. It's going to be Priest again. Same play. Breaks the tackle. Spins away at the 50. Down to the 47-yard line. He's got 7 more on 1st down. And again, for the 2nd straight play, Blacksburg manhandled at the point of contact.
Yep, and you can imagine that Coach Chris is going to have a talk to him about their tackling at halftime, too, because they're not wrapping these guys up. They're putting some helmets on them, but they're not wrapping them up, Rick.
The emotion right now not on that Blacksburg sideline. We've been talking about how the sideline has really energized the team at times through the first 2 games. That interception, I think, really took the life out of Blacksburg. Curtis to the near side. Robertson out to the right. Ball directly in the middle of the field for 2nd down and a very short 4 yards. On the option, Hicks kept it, and that was a mistake. I think somebody ran the wrong pattern from the backfield as he gets sacked by Wheeler. all the way back to the 47. It's going to be a loss of 7 and a 3rd down and 10 coming up. That looked like a missed assignment somewhere.
You know, if it wasn't, it was about the weirdest play I've ever seen drawn up, Rick. At that time, Sam Wheeler absolutely came across that line of scrimmage just completely unblocked and just about took his head off.
3rd down and 10 from the Fleming 47-yard line. 2 receivers to the right. An I formation, Priest your tailback. It's going to be a draw play to Priest. Breaks a tackle at the 50, straight up the field. He got his first down. And on 3rd and 10, a draw play again. Someone streaked through, missed a tackle, missed another tackle at the 50, and Priest ran for 10 yards, I believe. Yes, it is. 1st down and 10. He needed 10, got 10 and a half. And that's a backbreaker.
Yeah, it really is, Rick. They that time, you know, they just again, the offensive line right now for William Fleming is starting to control this game a little bit, and the backs are just some kind of lightning quick coming out of that backfield.
You had them 3rd down and 10 after the big play by Sam, and then draw play that wasn't really designed to fool anybody, just a straight draw, and Priest shot through there like he was shot out of a cannon, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Man. 2 receivers to the right. Just keep feeding him Priest. He breaks the tackle again. Stutter steps. Look at that move. To the 40. He carries to the 39. A gain of 4. Should have had maybe 1. 2nd down and 6. Wheeler, Price in on the stop.
Once again, there's a play where they had him cut off. Couldn't get any room outside. Cut it back. They had him cut off, but he was able to spin and pick up 3. And I mean, those are yards after the initial contact, Rick.
He's just a sophomore, Dwayne Priest. And now Blake comes back in. Oh, great. So you have to deal with Priest and Blake. For 2nd down and 6 from the 40-yard line. Curtis and Robertson to the right. Can't fall asleep on those guys as well. 4-man front by Blacksburg. Blake was playing fullback. Took the snap, hit the hole fast, carried for 5 to about the 35. 3rd down and 2 with 4 minutes to go. Fleming would like nothing more than to run this all the way down to about a minute or so and get another touchdown. Blacksburg's hoping for a big play to prevent that. Crowd's been very quiet since that first quarter, haven't they? They've been a big part of the success so far.
I thought I was going to see the people kind of come to life a little bit on that big 3rd down and 10 a minute ago, but it just isn't happening right now. I think they're a little shell-shocked.
Fleming from right to left. Going to have a wing on the right. He's going to go in motion. An I backfield. Counter play. This is Priest. He's got his 1st down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. 8 more yards. And right now, total domination by the offensive line for the William Fleming Colonels.
Again, you've got to give the running backs credit, Rick. I mean, he was hit at the line of scrimmage again, spun out of the grass, was hit about 3 yards later, spun out of that, and wound up with 8 yards on the play.
So they're getting it done, executing every which way possible right now on offense. And the Bruins need to hold their ground. Still a lot of football to play, down by just 7. Receiver to each side of the field. Line of scrimmage again, the 28 for Fleming. Hicks under center. Takes the snap. Fakes it up the middle of the fullback. He's going to go deep. He's flushed and sacked early. Jansen's there along with Bennett. Loss of 3 to the 31. Good thing because Gresham, the tight end, Ron, was wide open at the 5-yard line.
He ran a little crossing pattern, Rick, and you know earlier in the season they said they were having covering those crossing routes, and he was wide open. I will move down now, and we'll try to catch Coach Chris at halftime.
All right, so Ron Walton's going to go down and talk with Coach Chris. Sure he won't be nearly as pleasant to talk to as he has been the first 2 games going into the locker room, but nonetheless, a great play there by the defense. Restored order momentarily. Offset I, Childress, and now Blake, the tailback. 2 receivers to the right. Toss to the near side. Blake's going to cut it up, 35-30. Look at the burst. Inside the 20, all the way to the 18. He was hit by Reynolds and carried ahead near the 1st down. Needed 14, got 14. It's going to depend upon the spot. But again, they're just running left, running right at Blacksburg, and the Bruins can do nothing to stop it. As we approach the 2-minute mark, Fleming up 13-6, looking for more. And they're going to bring the chains across to see whether or not it is a 1st down. Blacksburg got the scoring underway. A nice 9-yard run by Houff. Looked good, missed the extra point. And since that extra point was missed, things haven't gone very well. It's kind of set the tone. One play can make that big a difference. 88-yard punt return by Mawan Curtis. And then Next possession for Blacksburg, 35-yard interception return by Priest as he stepped right in front of the half pass. And now we're looking at a situation where William Fleming's taking that momentum and trying to get some more heading into the locker room at halftime. Two receivers to the right, Blake and Priest. In the eye behind the quarterback, DeRay Hicks. Bruins may need a turnover to keep them from scoring here. Handoff. This is Priest cutting back at the 15. Will go down there. Nice tackle by Matt Woods. Still, though, a gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Minute 42 to go. And Fleming's going to take a timeout. We will as well. 1:42 in the half. Fleming driving up 13-6. Back with more after this. You're in tune to Blacksburg football here on WFNR.
You know, we sing for millions of girls, but helping out in schools, that's the real deal, baby.
I know our love can multiply, 'cause you're the X and I'm the Y.
I'm the cute one, you know what I'm saying? So, have you ever been backstage before?
Okay, guys, this is an abacus, an old school calculator. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like the circle and the square, our geometry is a perfect pair.
Now, why should kids know about gravity?
Well, gravity holds them down.
I once was one, but now we're two.
I'm spinning out of control.
Want to swear my love to you.
Oh, God.
Plastic ones last longer.
Pork bellies close steady due to speculation that demand for bacon-related products.
Read me this one, Daddy.
Okay, honey.
The less art kids get, the more it shows. Are yours getting enough? Art. Ask for more. AmericansForTheArts.org.
I wasn't going to school because I was making money stealing cars. Well, I was 10 when I first got involved with drugs. I skipped school because, nobody cared.
When I first got pregnant, school was not important to me, so I dropped out.
Well, if I don't finish school, then I can't go to college. That's the whole point of what I want to do with my life.
I still need to go to school to make it for myself.
I think I'm happier now. I know I'm happier now.
Rick Watson back with you here in Bill Brown Stadium. Gorgeous night for football. About 50, 55 degrees tonight when we're all said and done. And started out great for Blacksburg. Hopefully they can warm things up here. Home crowd's kind of been taken out of the game by this Fleming attack that sees them driving. 2nd down and 7 from the Berg 15. Coming up at halftime, we'll get a scoreboard update from Marty Gordon. Have all the numbers for you. Recap the score. Much more about the future Blacksburg schedule. Off week next Friday before coming back home in 2 weeks to take on Lord Botetourt. Blake in the backfield along with Childress, and now the crowd finally making a little bit of noise. Offset eye. Receiver to each side of the field. Toss goes to the right. It's going to be a tailback pass. Blake's going to lob it in the corner, and his receiver falls down, and they're going to call pass interference on Owen, and that's a terrible call. Looked like the receiver was just trying to draw the play. That was corner, a smart play by Casey Corner. The ball, was that catchable? It sailed out of bounds by about 5 yards, well over the head of the receiver. Incidental contact with Owen in corner, but they're going to call pass interference on the defense, and that's just a downright bad call. That's the only way you can say it. And now William Fleming, 1st down and goal to go. Owen went for the football. The ball wasn't catchable. The receiver took a dive, and the official fell for it. Well, hey, if you get it to work, it's worth trying. And now it's going to be 1st and goal for Fleming at the 7-yard line. Minute 34 to go. They already lead it 13-6. And it's going to take a special play by this Blacksburg defense to keep them out of the end zone here. The way they are dominating. A split backfield. Priest and Blake. Which one do you pick to defend? They fake it to Priest, counter it to Blake. Got the 5. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, William Fleming, and that was easy. 8-yard touchdown run by Donnell Blake. The little counter play, little play action, if you will, by the quarterback as They faked it right with Priest, went back left, touchdown for number 8, the senior, Donnell Blake, and it's now 19-6. Fleming now comes out to try to attempt the extra point. Minute 30 to go. Or will they go for 2? Looks like they're going to go for 2. Huge play in this game. They've missed 2 extra points already this year. Make it 3. They missed 1 in the first game. Offset eye, Priest in the backfield. They feel so sure about their offensive line's play, they're going to go for 2. Toss it to the right. Priest going to try to get the corner. He's hit, spins away, and sprints into the end zone. Another missed tackle. 2-point conversion is successful, and it's now 21-6. William Fleming dominating things. They've scored 21 unanswered points, and Priest was hit, spun away, and still found his way into the end zone. As William Fleming, once down 6-0, they've made that a distant memory as you see a very dejected Blacksburg group walk back to the sideline here in front of the home crowd. William Fleming, a lot of folks said during the preseason they played the toughest competition, that they had the best athletes, they were the all-around best team. Well, you know what? They're showing that right now, at least early. A lot of people said Blacksburg may be the only team that could derail them this regular season, considering that Fleming had to play here at Bill Brown Stadium. Still a chance to do that in the second half, but it's going to take a lot of work now. Hurdle back deep along with Wise. It's Robert and Byron Hurdle back deep along with Anthony Wise. We'll keep it here with our halftime break coming up. 21-6 Fleming. Minute 30 to go. Dempsey going to put his toe through it at the 40-yard line as soon as the officials bring him set. That last drive, by the way, a killer. 11 plays, 66 yards. Took 5.5 minutes, 5:34 to be exact. A low-line drive going to be taken by Byron Hurdle. Nope, that's Robert. 15 to the 20, running to his right to the 25, and he's brought down the open field. If anybody runs a kickback against Fleming this year, it'll be a miracle with that makeup speed they have. It looked like for a moment Robert had a golden opportunity to make that a big gain down the near sideline, but there were 3 white jerseys led by Steve Robertson, who closed up the real estate very quickly. Half back in at quarterback. See if Blacksburg can get this down the field. Remember, they had to burn a couple timeouts early. They only have 1 remaining. 25-yard line. First down from left to right for the Bruins, down 21-6. Owen and Reynolds out to the left. Wheeler and Bennett in the I formation. Handoff goes to Bennett over left tackle. There's a nice hole opened up by the offensive line across the 30 to the 31. Gain of 6. Let's see how Blacksburg decides to play it. Nope, they're not going to hustle up to the line. Thought maybe they might try to go no huddle here, trying to get something, get a field goal or something maybe, get an opportunity to score some more points. We'll see what they try on 2nd down and 4. Half under center. 2 receivers to the left. Out of the eye they will work. Play action. Half rolls to the left. Going to throw on the run, and it's well short in front of Reynolds, who was covered very well across the way by Esteban Barrett. 5'11", 185-pound senior safety for William Fleming. It's going to be 3rd down. 48 seconds to go, and you throw the pass, you stop the clock. Fleming now might be thinking about getting the ball back. You kick it to them on special teams, they can get a touchdown in about 10 seconds. They won't need 48. Here's Reynolds to the near side, Owen to the left. Wheeler, Wise in the backfield. 3rd down and nearly a full 5. Here's Half handing off to Wise. Nice run. He's hit, though, at the 35, and it's going to be very close as to whether or not he got the first down. Priest playing a magnificent game on both sides of the football. Fleming, the coaches want a timeout, so there you go. They want to force a kick with 36 seconds. It's going to be 4th down, or is it a first down? It is a first down just across the 35. So Fleming wanted a measurement. They didn't give him a measurement. They are charged with a timeout. They're second. They have 1 remaining. And it's going to be a 1st down and 10 for Blacksburg at the 36-yard line. Let's just keep it here again with our halftime break coming up. A lot of other games going on. Pulaski, Patrick Henry. Floyd County, Carroll County, games we are covering along with Radford and Laurel Park. Of course, William Byrd and Salem's a big game. Narrows and Giles. Huge battle in Parisburg. Hopefully we'll have scores of those games. And Big night, week number 3 of the high school football season. We'll get a scoreboard update at the break with Marty Gordon. Come back with a complete rundown of the opening half here. Hear from Coach Chris going in the locker room. Ron Walton's down on the field. We'll talk with him before we head out for our initial halftime break. No game next Friday night, and then in 2 weeks, Blacksburg returns home to finish up a 3-game homestand against Lord Botetourt. Cavaliers will be on the air at 7 o'clock. 7:30 will be the kickoff. And don't forget, every Blacksburg home game can be seen 2 nights a week on WTOB Channel 2. 7 o'clock on Monday nights and Wednesdays at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They do a great job representing the game for all the folks. So you get a chance to watch it a couple times during the week. I formation receiver to each side. House going to toss it to Wise. He cuts back at the 37, carries to about the 40. He's got nearly 5 on first down. And Blacksburg looks to be content with running out this clock. May have to snap it one more time, but they're going to go in the locker room behind in a game for the first time here in 2003. Now they come up with no huddle with just 15 seconds. I formation again. House. Play action, rolls out to the near side, throws off his back foot, looking for Owen. He leaps, and he has it at the 32 with 3 seconds. Now, do you call your last time out and you bring out your kicker? They threw it up for grabs. Owen has made so many dazzling catches early this season. Do you bring out Tyler Corbin right now and let him try a 49-yard field goal? He's got that kind of leg. Or do you try to go down the field to try to surprise Fleming with a touchdown before going in the locker room? 21-6. That's why I was a little surprised they didn't show a lot more, I guess, attitude toward moving the football quickly when they first started this drive. They went no huddle that time, got to the line of scrimmage and hit a big play. Now, though, there's just 3 seconds. Owen, even though he's matched up against some speedy defenders, can go up and catch it with anybody. And that was a good throw by House just to throw it up and let Owen, knowing his receiver, adjust to the ball. Great timing play. Well, no kicking team. 4 receivers. I'm sure Half will be rolling out of the pocket. Probably out to the left. Let's see. Bennett is the sole setback. Primarily, he'll be used as a blocker in case they send an extra man. Final play of the half. Half takes the snap. They didn't roll him out. He goes deep down the far sideline, and it's well out of bounds. They're going to call pass interference. The ball's incomplete at the 15. It was Reynolds out there with Priest and also Esteban Barrett, and they throw a late flag, and the half cannot end on a defensive penalty. The clock says 0-0-0, or can it? Now you bring Corbin out. I didn't think so. The half cannot end on a defensive penalty. So now you have a chance to bring Corbin out, and he can tee this thing up at the 22 and try to boot a 32-yard field goal. And that might be the kind of momentum that you need going into the locker room. Going to move the ball inside the 20 to about the 16. It'll be placed down at the 23. So a 33-yard field goal attempt by Tyler Corbin. And this would be huge for Blacksburg given how the second quarter has gone. Daniel Smith will hold it. Ball's on the left hash mark. Corbin will have the leg. Just will he be accurate? Good snap. It's down. Kick is high enough, far enough, and it is no good. He pushed it to the right, trying to overcompensate for the angle. Couldn't get it to go in. And Blacksburg will go into the locker room very dejected, down 21-6. 21 unanswered points for William Fleming is how the first half ended, as Coach Chris got to be very disappointed.
Mrs. Abruzzo, I'm Ed McMahon, and we're signing up people for.
Yes,
I am. Yeah. Mr. Murphy, Ed McMahon. We're starting up. No.
Dreams really do come true.
Hombre,
dinero.
No.
Con cámaras.
Yes,
Ed
con
McMahon,
cameras.
see.
Ed
McMahon.
Yes, Ed McMahon. We're having our first
Ed
ever.
McMahon.
Yes. Tuesday night at the high school. We're starting up the neighborhood watch in this area, and here's all the information.
Stevie, get down here, please.
No, it's just
5, 6, 7, 8.
No Tango de Nero. Neighborhood watch. We're having this neighborhood watch, the first one. Right.
Larry, put some pants on!
I'll come back.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, thank you.
Start a neighborhood watch. It's just one of the many ways you can help make America stronger. To find out how, call or log on for this free guide.
Violence. Violence. We're stronger than you. You can't hold us back. Violence. We know what it takes to blow past you.
And violence, we're just getting going.
Okay, so how this is going to work is when I connect these wires, the electricity is going to cause a chemical reaction to simulate the eruption. Very good.
If you're not helping after-school programs, you're really helping to take them away. After-school programs, wouldn't you rather be helping?
Welcome back to Bill Brown Stadium. Not good news for the home team so far. They're down 21-6. Started out nice enough. 9-yard run by Dave Half gave Blacksburg a gave them a 6-0 lead. And since that time, they've seen Fleming reel off 21 straight points and lead it by 15 here at the break as the Blacksburg band entertains the folks here at Bill Brown Stadium. We'll come back with all the numbers for you.
Second team, respond to male subject, difficulty breathing, chest pain.
Your neighbors helped save a life last night. Be a volunteer. You can help save a life. You provide the time, we'll provide the training. To learn more, call the Blacksburg Rescue Squad at 961-1189.
Lewis and Clark, great explorers.
Hi, I'm Thomas Jefferson. Would you check out the West for me? Oh, sure.
And they take their keelboat up the Missouri.
Oh, Buffalo. Then they built Fort Mandan. They're at 1804. Made some friends along the way. I'm Secretary West.
Through the Columbia Gorge.
There are tons of ways to help with your kids' learning. Find the really good ones on connectforkids.org.
The sweet Pacific Ocean.
Well, the first half numbers in this game. Blacksburg overall offensively doing it. 12 first downs, just 6 for Fleming. Rushing, though, they changed it around in the second quarter. As the net yards rushing right now, 75 for Fleming, 84 for Blacksburg. Total yards, 169 for Blacksburg, 75 for William Fleming, as Fleming yet to complete a pass in the game. Blacksburg's throwing the ball very well. I mean, that's what they've done. They're 6 of 9, 1 interception. But, 85 yards through the air. That play at the end set up a Tyler Corbin field goal attempt that he pushed to the right, trying to compensate for the tough angle on the hash. And we are at 21-6. Fleming. Numbers look like this for Blacksburg. Shane Bennett, 7 carries, 27 yards. David Half, 2 for 22. Byron Hurdle, 3 carries for 14. Anthony Wise, 4 carries, 13 yards. Sam Wheeler, 3 for just 6. Sam hasn't gotten it going offensively yet. Joe Charlie carried once for 2. That's 20 carries, 84 yards plus the touchdown. Half, 4 of 6, 1 interception, 75 yards. Smith, 2 of 3 for 10 yards. 6 of 9 as a team, 1 interception, 85 yards. Reynolds caught 2 passes for 34. Wheeler, 2 for 13. Owen, 1 for 28. Ingebrigtsen, 1 for 10. William Fleming, Dwayne Priest, 7 carries, 48 yards. Donnell Blake, 6 for 43. Fullback Childress, 2 for 5. Hicks officially has been sacked 4 times for minus 21 yards. That's 19 carries for 75 yards. They haven't tried a pass. They haven't needed to. Missed field goal, of course. Corbin from 33 yards. Had the distance. Just one of those things where it just went just a little bit right against the Blacksburg kicker. 21-6 is our score here at the break. Ron Walton's going to rejoin me momentarily, and Coach Chris, again, had a good attitude going into the locker room about it. He said, look, we're making some mistakes. Fleming's too good to make those kind of mistakes against, and we're going to make some adjustments and keep running our game plan, the things we came out with. We'll take a timeout, 21-6, Fleming. Ron will rejoin me. We'll talk much more about the opening half and what Blacksburg's going to have to do in the second half to get it turned around after this. You're in tune to Blacksburg football here on 100.7 FM, WFNR.
Begin. You're mine. Chicken.
McGruff here. If a bully is bothering you, play it smart and try to talk it out. Or get away and tell an adult.
Well done.
For more tips, write for my new free comic activity book. Play it smart and help take a bite out of crime.
Honey, would you get me some ice cream?
Ice cream?
Please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Some things you just can't do without. It happens every night, all across America.
Let's sit down for a second, okay, sweetie?
Hey, Kayla, there's Mary from your class.
Hi, Mary! Hi, Kayla! Come and play!
Oh, sweetie! Why don't you go play with those kids over there?
Why?
Imagine the power of one voice. Find yours at freedomcenter.org.
It's halftime here at Bill Brown Stadium, Blacksburg right now. A lot of work to do, Ron. 21-6 is the score. Fleming lead. Started out well enough, didn't it, with Half? Nice 9-yard run to cap off a very impressive drive. Defense was playing well, and then you missed that extra point, and ever since then, things have kind of fallen apart. The special teams, we talked about it, looked like Blacksburg had the advantage coming in. Fleming's the ones right now that's getting it done with the special teams.
Yeah, I think Coach Chris, he 2 or 3 plays back, and this is a different ball game. You had the one play by Half where he was scrambling, just trying to get rid of the football, and made an inadvertent toss and got it intercepted. They brought it all the way back to punt. They returned. I think we see early on now why they're kicking it away in the kicking game, trying to kick it away from some of the returners from William Fleming. But I think Coach Chris is right. They've got 2 things they have to fix before they go into the second half. First of all, Rick, they got to shut them down somehow, some way. That drive that William Fleming made at the end of the game was just by all accounts at this point, a real backbreaker for Blacksburg. I was standing down in the west end zone as they were making that drive. The Blacksburg kids some were fired up, some were not. Kids were trying to get the others motivated, and then that pass interference call just seemed to absolutely take it out of them. Not going to say that flag shouldn't have been thrown, but if there's ever such a thing called inadvertent contact, that's what that was. That seemed to have just taken him out. So Coach Chris has got a job on his hands right now for the second half. He's got to get these kids motivated. On defense, they just got to do a better job of tackling. They've filled the holes. They've had a tackler on the ball carrier when he's coming up through the line, but he's not. These running backs are awfully good spinners. And they're spinning out of the grass. They're getting 3, 4, 5, 6 yards extra after contact. And I think they're just going to have to leave Half in the game. Not that Daniel Smith played badly, but Half seems to have moved this football team a little bit better in the first half. And I think they got to put the ball in his hands in the second half.
Something's very telling, Ron. I talked about it. When you line up for a 2-point conversion as confidently as William Fleming did, there was no hesitation from the staff.
No.
Nothing, no trickery, not trying to change it, just a straight toss. You have that much confidence in your offensive line. You know you're not being brought down by the initial contact. They went right into the end zone. That's a signal by that coaching staff to the Blacksburg coaching staff. What are you going to do now to stop us? Because that was a real statement on that two-point conversion.
And you know what? Two Blacksburg players put a hat on the ball carrier about the one, and he just completely spun out of their grasp into the end zone. Again, Blacksburg had it defensed. They had it strung out. But the kid's just a good running back. That's all you can say. His yards after initial contact, I wish we had that stat tonight because it would be unbelievable to see what his yards have been after that initial contact.
Well, the bad news is it's 21-6. The good news is you have a whole half of football left to play, and you're at home, and Blacksburg can get it done. We know how good that defense is, and very confident Coach Chris is going to make the adjustments they need to make coming out of the locker room to see what they can do in the second half to get back into this thing. The good news is the offense also will start out with possession. Remember, Fleming won the toss, and they received the kick.
Yeah, Blacksburg will wind up getting the ball to open the second half, and you know, as they've said, this is the oldest cliche that you've ever heard in football, but the first 5 minutes will be a telling sign of the way the rest of this ball game is going to go. Blacksburg's going to need to move this football. They're not really necessarily rushed to score this first time, but they need to move it. They need to establish that they can throw the football again. And number two, they just need to pick up a couple of first downs. They need to put this team will notice that they're not out of the game.
And I was a little surprised, Ron. I wanted to ask you about this before we go into the break. Blacksburg, after the touchdown two-point conversion, had about a minute and a half left. Didn't show a sense of urgency at the initial start of that drive. Got a first down. Then they went no huddle with only 20 seconds. Hit the big pass to Owen, but a lot of valuable time ran off that clock. They still had one timeout. You wonder if maybe they could have got it down a little closer if they'd have showed that same propensity with the no huddle from the get-go.
Well, you know, I don't know whether they were just had hoped to run the clock out and going in and talk about it at half. And then they wound up getting a big play and showing some urgency then. But, yeah, I was a little there were several of us in the end zone kind of scratching our head as to, you know, what are we going to do and giving up when this game's not over. But, you know, I will say this, that and I don't want to get overly intensified with it, but that long drive by William Fleming there at the end of the game, or the end of the first half, was a definite demotivator for the Blacksburg staff, and Coach Chris has got his hands full right now getting these kids ready to play.
21-6 Fleming. We'll come back with more halftime coverage after this. You're in tune to Blacksburg Bruins football on WFNR.
When it comes to babies, appearances can be deceiving. Look at this brainwave. Very active. And this one, not doing much. You make the difference by reading, singing, and talking from birth. Studies prove it. An early start. Now that's smart.
Families in Florida prepare themselves for the hurricane season. Families in California prepare themselves for earthquakes. Every family in America should prepare itself for a terrorist attack. And quite frankly, things are very simple. An emergency supply kit, a communication plan. You can learn how to do them on our website. You can get a brochure. Terrorism forces us to make a choice. We can be afraid, or we can be ready.
At CARE, we can't wait for our retirement party. Some think it may never happen. And sure, there's still a lot to do before it does. But we're convinced that day will come. You see, we want to end poverty. CARE works with the world's poorest communities. We're helping improve life itself, not just for now, but from now on. And we'll keep at it until the day everyone lives free of poverty and the need for CARE's work has ended. Now, won't that be worth celebrating?
All right, welcome back to Bill Brown Stadium.
Nice hike there.
Just
Got a
about
little exercise, didn't you?
Just about, yeah, I did. Had to take a little jaunt there.
Take that run to the end zone one time and
I was
back.
gonna say.
Let me tell you what, I've lost 5 pounds just being sent to talk to Coach Chris.
Well, see, we're providing a service for you.
You really are. My cardiologist will appreciate you when it's all over with.
21-6 at the break. Right now, it's Blacksburg down by 15. I believe if you look at what Blacksburg needs to do, Coach Chris is going to have them ready to go. What do you think, Ron, coming out of the locker room and start throwing the ball again?
Yeah, he's going to have to establish something very early on, Rick. I think he's going to have to, throw the football. He's going to have to get back to what they did in that first drive when they started the first half. Half was very impressive, and Daniel Smith played well. I don't want to, take anything away from Daniel, but I think Half's the guy that has to win this football game for him right now. With his throwing, I think he's going to have to run the football. I think he's going to have to establish this offense very quickly as they begin the second half.
Well, I would agree. The defense has to be questioning itself a little bit, too, the way they were pushed around. We didn't expect to see that, not even by William Fleming. So regrouping all the way around, Blacksburg runs back out onto the field a little late. Fleming's ready to rock and roll. We know the Bruins will have possession of the football.
I think the other thing is they're going to have to get this Blacksburg crowd back into this game. Right at the end of the first half there, the Blacksburg crowd got a little bit silent, and they're going to have to bring the fans back into the game in order to get these kids a little motivated. They're coming back with a little bit of enthusiasm here in the second half. They certainly came back onto the field with a lot more enthusiasm than they left the field with at the end of the first half, Rick.
And don't forget, folks, that you can watch the replay of this game and every Blacksburg home game on WTOB Channel 2. Mondays at 7, leading you right into the Monday night game, and then Wednesdays at 3 in the afternoon.
You'd think that TOB folks over there would at least go get us a hot dog or something. Right? She's laughing at us. I got no respect out of that.
Yeah, she's anything you ask like that I learned last year, she just laughs.
Yeah, obviously.
Durley and company do a great job. Nice folks, and we're glad they invited us, by the way, to help them out yet again.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, here we go. Big possession starting out the second half. I think Ron's right. Necessarily, you don't have to come down and score, but get some confidence back. Move the football. Dempsey's going to tee it up at the 40. You got Hurdle, both Hurdles, Robert, Byron, and Anthony Wise is your deep man at the 5. Plenty of time in this football game for Blacksburg to change around this 15-point deficit. From right to left, Dempsey puts his toe through it. It's a high short kick, a pop-up. You got to play that. Woods has it, lost it, and it's going to be covered up, fortunately, by Scott McKee. And that's a live football. A little pop-up right over the initial line of coverage for Blacksburg. And McKee, Johnny on the spot, will have it at the 33, and that's where Blacksburg will start out their first possession here in the third quarter.
Well, obviously that time William Fleming just did not want Blacksburg getting back into the game right from the beginning here. So they kicked it away from their return men, and Blacksburg gets decent field position at the 33 to start the second half.
We're going to send out two receivers to the left, Matthews along with Shane Owen. An I formation with Wheeler and Anthony Wise. David House, your quarterback. Four-step drop's going to roll out to the near side, cut it back, and go down after a 3-yard gain to about the 36-yard line. Tackle made up front by William Fleming's Blake Taylor.
Again, that time they played the run, Rick. Half is going to have to throw that football. He rolled right, never had any intention. That was a design run from the get-go.
Half again a tailback a year ago. Played very well for Coach Chris at that position. They needed some leadership at quarterback, and the senior, how he started the program, goes back to that position. Wheeler, who lines up very close to his quarterback in the eye. We'll have Wise behind him. Again, two receivers to the left. Half takes the snap, hands off to Wise. Stutter step move to the 40. Nice run by Wise. Brought down the open field by Dennis Hardy, the 5'10", 186-pound linebacker. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3 for Blacksburg.
One of the things you have to give credit to William Fleming for, Rick, is they're a good tackling football team.
They really are.
They certainly do have a lot of speed, but at the point of contact, they are grabbing, they are holding, and they are bringing these ball carriers down. There's not much yard being gained after initial contact here.
Coach Smith does a great job with these kids. All right, a 5-man front by Fleming. Big 3rd down play for Blacksburg. You can't afford to go 3 and out as they work from left to right. Short drop, 2 steps. Ball is tipped as he tried to get it to Owen. And I think getting his hands on it was Casey Corner as Gresham was going out in coverage, and it's going to be 4th down, and you have to punt it right back to a very hot William Fleming offense.
At time, Half just did not have a grasp on the football. Didn't get it gripped well and kind of started off with a wounded duck. Then it was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Ball really had never had a chance to be completed to start with.
Wheeler will kick it back to Fleming, standing at his 27. Remember the last time Blacksburg lined up in this formation? That man, Mywan Curtis, ran it back 88 yards. It's a low line drive. Keep it away from him, but he shanked it off the side of his foot. And the official's going to walk for a while, 41-yard line. I guess that beat 6 points. They kept it about 22 yards away from Curtis.
Yeah, I don't doubt that he probably was kicking it away from the return man, but there was a little more field there to work with.
So from the 41-yard line, Fleming comes right back at you, 21-6. Now, whereas it wasn't a must score for the Blacksburg offense, this is a must stop, in my opinion, Ron, for the Blacksburg defense, as DeRay Hicks brings that Fleming offense set.
Well, as I said a few minutes ago, Rick, the first 5 minutes of the second half was really a telltale sign. And right now, this Blacksburg defense needs to step up, rise to the occasion, and stop these boys.
Offset eye, Blake is your tailback. It's going to be a handoff to the fullback Childress, keeping him honest again. He plows ahead for maybe a yard. Turley hit him first. Matt Woods came in to combine to make the stop. 2nd down and 9 with 10:20 to go on a turning third quarter clock.
And let me tell you the difference between that play and what we saw at the end of the first half. That time, Turley got his arms around the ball carrier and wasn't about to let go.
21-6 Fleming. They've reeled off 21 straight. A punt return, interception for a touchdown, and a nice run. 2-point conversion, successful, and that's where we stand. Hicks under center, short snap count. That's the way it's been all night. Blake trying to break a tackle, does. Looking to get outside 40, and he's still on his feet. And finally, he's pushed out of bounds at the 43 and a late flag, and
looks like he got a
15.
face mask.
Yep. And again, there it was, Ron. Sam Wheeler got there first as Blake put the stiff arm into his chest, and he could not bring him down. He kept the play alive and drew the penalty.
Again, just mistakes. Poor tackling, Rick.
So a face mask against Blacksburg. 5-yard variety will march the football out to the 27, or check that, the 47, which will bring this about 3rd down and 3.5 for Fleming to convert. 2nd down, that's right. The down's going to be, I didn't know if it was a dead ball or if it was during the play. It was during the play, so we repeat 2nd down. Split backfield with Blake and Priest. What a dangerous duo those two are.
Man.
Wing on the right is Gresham, the big tight end. There's the counter play they scored on. Look at Blake. He's wide open at the 40, and a touchdown-saving tackle by Reynolds at the 36-yard line. Blacksburg right now can do nothing to stop this offense.
You know, many years ago, we used to call that the old crossbutt play when we played football. And, you know, it's a very old play. Now it's more like a counter where your one back is going to the right, the other back is coming off of him going to the left, and it seems to keep catching the Blacksburg defense a little bit by surprise.
It's the men in the trenches getting it done right now for Fleming and those nifty backs. Look at Priest. The tailback, the fullback is Blake. Same play. Same play has worked all night. They counter it again. Inside the 30 to the 28, he's got 8 more on 1st down. And one time it's Blake, the fullback, run. The next time it's Priest, the tailback, and they're just running free and clear after they get by the initial contact. They're on the move again from right to left as we played 3 minutes of our 3rd quarter.
And you know, Rick, when Mike Price, or Alan Price rather, is making tackles 6 and 7 yards down the field, that's not a good sign.
Blacksburg defense definitely on its heels, being challenged like never before this season through the first 2+ games. Receiver to each side. Robertson to the near, Curtis to the far. I formation again, Priest your tailback. Longer snap count. Going to be a handoff to the man in motion, Curtis, the flanker, to the 25-20. He breaks free for a 1st down all the way to the 18. He gets 11 more. 1st down and 10 for the Colonels as Shane Owens stops 6 points maybe this time too.
3 missed tackles all in a row. 3 missed tackles, and the Blacksburg defense just looks tired at the moment. You know, I think these kids will rise up to the occasion now. I think they'll start to dig in. But that time again, 3 missed tackles, and it allowed him to get 11 yards.
We're going to see a lot of good football teams this year, Ron, take on Blacksburg. But this team, when they play well and they're disciplined, they are the complete package. There's Blake again. He's a tailback playing fullback. Fights ahead. He's also a very tough tackle-to-tackle runner. You don't think about that with his speed.
Yeah, when he drags Big Alan Price for 3 yards, he's a tough kid.
4 yards on that play. 2nd and 6. 8 minutes to go. And Coach Smith has to be so pleased across the way.
Some of the Blacksburg players are looking over asking for a timeout. but they're not going to take it.
Pace being dictated by Fleming, and that's really been the case since late in the first quarter. Offset eye this time. They're going to hand it off to Priest, and there's Turley shooting through. There you go. That's a big play, a loss of about a yard. Let's see now if he can follow that up on 3rd down and 6.
And again, once again, Turley held on. He held on. He got to the back in a hurry in the backfield, and he held on to the cavalry came. And that's exactly what they've got to do from here on out.
Keep those feet moving. That's what Blacksburg's having to deal with these Fleming backs. 3rd down and 6, ball just outside of the 14-yard line. 2-down territory, though, for Fleming. You're going to have to stop him twice. Priest, your tailback, and the offset up. Toss to the right. This is Priest. Gets hit. Will go down. Fight ahead. 5, 6 blue jerseys there. 4th down.
Guess who? Alan Price.
Woods there along with Bakari and Turley. 4th down. There won't be a decision here for Coach Smith. He has no kicking game to speak of. They won't punt it down here, obviously. So they're going to call a timeout and think about what play they want to call. 4th down and 5, and I think it's safe to say, Ron, with 6:43 to go, maybe 4th down and whether or not Blacksburg stays in this game. We'll take a timeout, come back for this huge play after this. You're in tune to Blacksburg football on WFNR.
The best investment we can make is the investment of time in the lives of children. Children who will become tomorrow's leaders. That's why 4-H is so important.
It's so rewarding to know that you're influencing or helping or developing other people.
Kids are the future, and if we can raise better human beings, then tomorrow's world will be better.
Discover the world together. Be a 4-H volunteer. To find out how, contact your local extension office.
Come on, David. Come on, David. Let's go, David. Come on.
Come on, David. You got the love.
Get as involved in your kids' education as in everything they do, and imagine the success they might find. Stay in touch with the teacher. Visit the school. For more tips, call 1-800-281-1313.
All right, alongside Ron Walton, Rick Watson back with you, Bill Brown Stadium. Big 4th down play coming up. Nearly 6 full yards.
Rick, right now, I think it's really falling in the hands of these senior leaders for Blacksburg. Alan Price really needs to step up. He's made a couple of plays now. He really needs to step up right here and make a play. This could put Blacksburg right back into the thick of things if they can stop this William Fleming team on 4th down.
Crowd back into it. They know the urgency of this defensive stand. It's going to be a pass. Hicks retreats to the 24. He's going to go down.
And
ball
fumble.
comes out. Fleming has it. Doesn't matter. Blacksburg has held as Hicks got hit hard at the 23-yard line. Tried to get the ball out to his tight end, Gresham.
And look who's on the bottom of the pile.
It's Alan Price, and he might be hurt. He's getting up very slowly. You know what? If he fell in that football, it could have knocked the air out of him.
Well, that's what we said, Rick. He looks like he's getting up, and he's okay now. But they needed the play from Alan Price. He is their defensive playmaker. He got to the quarterback and just shellacked him that time.
Now the crowd back into it. Can you continue now where this momentum has gotten you? Let's see. Here comes Houff running back out onto the field as Price again comes over. And yeah, he didn't stay down long, did he?
No, he didn't. He's ready to play this game.
He's going to come off the field by himself. Look at how hurt he is. Here we go. I formation. Follow up that big defensive play with the offense. 21-6, plenty of time. And it's a counter to the left. Wheeler didn't get the ball, and Houff kept it and got sacked for a 2-yard loss at about the 18-yard line as it was Gresham streaking through. Casey Corners played so well from that right end position, hasn't he?
Yeah, he really has. He's just not let anything get by him. But again, Rick, you know, they're back to teeing off on the run a little bit. They're not respecting the pass. They're putting 8 men in the box. And Blacksburg is going to have to get them to respect the pass again as they did early in the game.
What about corner? 6'5", 220. Jeez.
Big corner.
So here we go.
A big corner in college
It
standpoint.
would be. I formation, Houff. Handoff to Anthony Wise. Spins out of one tackle and will not get, but maybe the 2 yards lost on the previous play. It's going to be 3rd down and 10, ball just across the 20-yard line. 4 white jerseys there, led by Devon Hall for Fleming.
This is clearly not the situation Coach Chris wants this football team in. He'd like to have 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 10. It's not going to get it done for him.
He said you can't let Fleming jump out on you. Now we see what he's talking about. 21-6, Colonels. They've scored 21 straight points. And they're going to flood the right side, aren't they? Look at this.
4 guys.
Four receivers.
1 coming off.
Okay, they had 12 men. Trips to the right.
They're going to throw a flag on that.
Officials have stopped play, and I think Half had to call a timeout because they just didn't have the personnel right. And that
I
shows
thought
you
we were going to get hit with an illegal substitution, but they called a timeout.
Ron, that shows you this team still hasn't completely regathered itself with that kind of confusion. Let's take a break. 5:14 to go. Big third down coming up for Blacksburg. You're in tune to Bruins football here on WFNR.
Every week we return all our cans and bottles. Yeah, we help to reduce the world's waste.
But aluminum? It's like gold. Oh, yeah.
Environmental defense. Get green. For more environmentally friendly tips, go to getgreen.com.
Oh, there's a bottle. Where? Right over there. To your left. To your left. There you go. You got it.
Huge third down. Full 10 yards to go for the Blacksburg Bruins, just outside of the 20. 3 receivers to the near side.
Watch for him to throw a little screen over here to Sam Wheeler, Rick.
Kitchings is out on him. You have Priest and Blake guarding the other 2 receivers. Bennett's the sole setback. Here goes House. Straight drop, 5 steps, looking one-on-one. He throws it sideways and well out of the reach of Reynolds. Looked like that ball could have slipped out, Ron. We've seen that a couple times tonight. That just never got down the field and never wouldn't have been a first down anyway if Reynolds would have caught it.
Yeah, they tried a little down and out and a little quick out, and it just ball wasn't well thrown at all.
So 4th down, Fleming holds yet again, and now you have to punt it deep inside your own 10-yard line. Sam has a very strong leg, and this is one of those deals where, well, you're darned if you do, darned if you don't. If you kick it deep, of course, they're going to have a big return. If you try to shank it again or kick it away from him, then you're giving up a lot of field position. So Fleming has Blacksburg right where they want him here on this punt attempt. Sam's going to be standing at his 9. It's a good snap. The big senior kicks a low line drive, but see, he kicked it out of bounds, and it's out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So you're going to have a 43-yard field for Fleming with 5:02 to go.
That's not something they can do, Rick. They've clearly they got to keep it out of the return guy's hands, but they have left a little bit better effort than that.
So DeRay Hicks will come back out running this offense that really, besides one drive, Blacksburg's been able to contain defensively. Make big plays on the special teams and with their defense to stake them to a 21-6 lead.
We need a 3 and out here, Rick.
3 and out, a turnover would be nice.
Yeah.
I formation. And you know, well, I won't say you know, but you'd think they would just line up, try to pound it at them again. Here's Blake over the right side. Good job that time by the linebacker Shane Bennett. He came over to hold that to just a 3-yard gain to about the 39-yard line.
You know, Shane Bennett is playing a really good game. He ran the ball well in the first quarter, and he's had a couple of sacks, a couple of losses in the backfield. So he's played a good game. He's certainly raised his level tonight.
2nd down and 7. And William Fleming not going to be in any hurry whatsoever. They can be deliberate. Take their time, talk it over. Gresham's going to be lined up. How dangerous is it to have your tight end lined up over here in the wing on the left?
Yeah, that and this big offensive line, they just...
He goes in motion to the right. Counter again. It's going to be Blake, and there's a nice play by Matt Woods, who grabbed his shoe and brought him down after just about a 1.5 yard pickup by Blake. It's going to be 3rd and 6.
I'm quite sure at halftime, Coach Chris told these guys, you got to get them with the arms and hold them down. These raw carriers were spinning off the entire first half, and that's what's happening now. They've had some decent tackles here in the second half.
Another huge play for the Blacksburg defense as the crowd gets behind him. 3rd down and 6. Ball is at the 38.
Really big time. The seniors need to step up again, show some senior leadership. Alan Price really needs to come off this ball.
Will Fleming throw it? Nope, it's a draw play. Blacksburg snuffed it out. Price wasn't fooled. He'll hold up the fullback Childress, and it's going to be a loss of about 5 yards. So the Bruins do hold yet again, as there was Price not falling for the draw. He beat his man, the left tackle, across the way, and 4th down, and now the Bruins are going to receive this punt. We'll see if Dempsey tries to keep it away from Bennett.
Alan Price actually did a little swim move on the right guard that time, Rick, and he got into the backfield. Thought the misdirection would take him out of the play, but he didn't buy it at all.
Dempsey retreats to his 44. Again, they've had problems. They muffed a punt late in the game against Pulaski. It's a low snap. Dempsey feels it, no pressure, and it's a high. Beautiful kick. Bennett called for a fair catch, let it go. It's going to bounce sideways and be down at about the 13-yard line. So we have 2:51 to go in the third quarter, 21-6. Still plenty of time, but you got a long way to go here. Might take a big play to try to bust some things open. You get the play action going like it was early. Roll out Dave and let him run, throw, whatever. See if you can regather what you did on those first couple drives.
Well, I think what they're going to have to do is get a little play action going, Rick, and they're going to have to throw someone first down. The second thing they're going to have to do, it's becoming more and more obvious to me that Half is a lot better and more effective passer on these curl routes than he is throwing in these out patterns. So I think they're going to need to run more curls. They're going to they're going to need to throw on first down a little bit more.
Backs will be lined up in the I, 2 receivers to the near side. And they're going to hand it off to Hurdle. And, well, that did nothing. He's going to be tackled behind the line, way behind the line. That play started at the 13. He's going to be spotted back at the 7, so a loss of 6 as nobody blocked Dennis Hardy, Ron. He just grabbed Hurdle immediately as soon as he got the football from Hal.
Yeah, he looked like an extra man on the field there for a minute. Nobody had the responsibility it seemed like to block him.
Fortunate spot. They're going to bring the ball back to the 9, so it's a loss of just 4. 2:25 to go, 21-6, and there's just no life at all in this Blacksburg team right now. And you're not going to get it back from Fleming. You're going to have to create your own life. Yes. Now you'd have to throw, I would think. 2nd and 14. I formation, and I believe they fumbled it again. Ball was on the turf.
White markers came out indicating there was a fumble.
That was, I think, Wheeler falling back on it. Ron, we've seen that 4 different times tonight to Sam Wheeler. Not that it's his fault, but that play just hasn't clicked all night long.
No.
So now it's 3rd down and 14.
The linebacker play for William Fleming is just very, very strong. They're disrupting the plays. They're not allowing Blacksburg to get any kind of rhythm at all.
Couple bookends at 6'4", 230. Gresham and Kitchens.
Again, we wind up in the long 3rd down situation.
Out of the I, receiver to each side, 3-step drop. They're going to go one-on-one looking for Shane Owen, and a great effort at the 34. Ball was thrown over his head. He was blanketed by Blake. Not a bad throw by Half. He led him just a little too far, and that was really the only play Coach Chris could call there. They nearly pulled it off, but now you have to punt on 4th down and 14, and Tyler Corbin's going to come back out, and that's probably a smart play because Sam has had problems with his attempts to keep it away from Awan Curtis, and Tyler's going to be about 4 yards deep in his end zone.
Yeah, they're going to have to get a decent punt out of here. They've got to accomplish 2 things, Rick. They've got to get it down the field, number 1, and number 2, they got to try to keep it out of the hands of these return guys.
Good snap, and Corbin kicks a sideways kick. It's going to go out of bounds across the 30 to about the 34-yard line. So you give the defense another short field they have to defend. They've come up big the last couple times, but how many times, though? You keep kicking it that short, and the offense is going to take advantage with this field position, the 1:18 to go in the quarter.
Yeah, I think that, they've shortened the field each time they've punted, and that tends to wear on the defense.
Ball just inside of the 35-yard line. Fleming from right to left, trying to add to that 21-6 advantage. Twin receivers to the right. They haven't thrown it deep to those receivers yet. But watch out. You have 2 receivers, and only one of them's covered. Fortunately, Hicks didn't see it. And Priest is going to be brought down by Joe Turley for a 3-yard loss. Ron, they had 2 receivers line up to the right and only 1 defender over there.
Well, thank goodness they don't check off at the line, Rick, but that time Joe Turley made a great play in the backfield.
2nd down and 13. Turley's played a strong game. On the right side, he's in slot. And Fleming in no hurry with 49 ticks to go. They'll run the play clock down. Curtis to the right, Robertson to the near side. That's the short side of the field. Offset I again. Priest is your tailback. He'll probably get it. It's a toss to the short side. He's at the 40, 35, 30. Here he goes. He's gone. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. Lightning in a bottle. 35-yard touchdown by Dwayne Priest. Ron, he made a cut at the 33, sidestepped the defender to 30, and nobody touched him.
That time, Blacksburg had it defended fairly well. They had it strung out, but he just made a great cut right at the point of attack, and he was free.
So Priest has scored on a couple 35-yard plays, one an interception, this one a 35-yard run, and it's 27-6, and now the crowd is very quiet. As Dempsey will attempt the extra point, DeRay Hicks will hold it, snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. 26 seconds to go, 28-6 Fleming. We'll be back for the kick. After this, you're in tune to Blacksburg football on WFNR.
You'd never know it on the battlefield, but nearly half of today's military are National Guard and reservists. However, they can't answer our nation's call without their employer's support. If you're an employer, visit esgr.org and find out how to do your part. After all, their response depends on yours.
Look, there's a moose. Where? Over there. Oh, yeah. Look, over there. I see a fish. A fish with 2 stripes.
Spend time with kids anytime, and it helps prevent crime. It's that easy.
28-6 now. William Fleming, here's a kick, it's deep, and Wise has it at the 3. Running to his right across the 10, looking for the 15. Again, you can't run laterally. You have to turn it up. That gave Casey Corner, how many times we called his name, time to come down and just put a big hat right on. Wise, you can't hesitate. You just have to make a decision, go straight up the field against the Colonels. It's now 28-6, Ron. It's going to be very, very difficult to get back into this one. 22 points down. With the field position, Fleming's dominated, and the offense and defense has to be very confident right now with what it wants to do.
Rick, you're talking about a 6'5", 215-pound kid that can fly.
And he just kind of zoned in right on Wise and just, honed in on him, put him down. Once he hesitated, tried to run right instead of straight up the field, it was over. Half will bring the offense onto the field. And again, some confusion. I think the ball came out again. It did. It's still rolling around. Shane Reynolds, or check that, Owen picked it up. Now it's picked up by Fleming, Blake, and he's going to return it all the way down to the 3. That play has not been there all night. They've put it on the turf 5 times, and this time it cost them as Blake picked it up. And now Fleming has it with a chance to put the final nail in the coffin. 1st and goal to go at the 3-yard line with 7 seconds to go in the quarter.
Once again, I'm telling you, they just, that play, you're right, Rick, it's not going. It's not there. It is just not there.
The last drive, 2 plays, 35 yards, and now they don't even have a drive, really. They're going to spot that closer to the 4. We'll keep it here. They called a timeout, did Fleming. 7 seconds to go, and, well, this night has just gotten a little uglier for Blacksburg.
Well, again, Casey Corner came off the corner that time and just disrupted the play. He came across from his defensive end position completely unblocked and just disrupted it from the total beginning.
And I think now we have no doubt who one of the front runners is in Region 3, Division 4, huh?
Tough to think of a team right now that can match these guys. In terms of speed and quickness, I mean, these kids are fast. They're very fast. I think give Blacksburg another 4 quarters and another shot at them, it would be a different ball game.
Coach Smith.
These kids from Blacksburg have learned a lot.
I think they have. They're very disgusted. You can tell by the body language. Ron mentioned it after the long drive by Fleming to close out the half. Coach Smith's really got his team playing well. They thought last week was a turning point when they beat Pulaski County, and, well, they've continued that momentum. Kitchings in the backfield along with Blake. Hicks under center. It's going to be Blake. Left side. He picked up the fumble. Spun away, put his arm on the ground, and scored the touchdown. Are you kidding me? You can't teach that. That's just God-given ability. Bennett hit him. He spun, went down on one arm, leaped in the end zone, never went down, and it's 34-6, just like that.
I'm speechless. That's the run just to watch Tuesday night, folks, on the replay and on WTOB. That was quite the run.
Blake now with 2 touchdowns. Priest has 2, 1 on each side of the ball. Here's the extra point by Dempsey. And he missed it badly to the right, but it's now 34-6, a 28-point deficit for Blacksburg. Again, we'll keep it here with 3 seconds to go with the kick coming up. It is all William Fleming Colonels right now from Bill Brown Stadium. And I got to be honest, Ron, you knew it was going to be a tough game for 4 quarters. You thought maybe come down to the final couple possessions. Never would have thought that one of these teams would have blown out the other like we're seeing right now.
Well, again, you know, as Blacksburg proved in the first game, their special teams turned that game around for them. Second game, the defense really set the tone. But you have to give it to William Fleming because their special teams came out here. They returned a punt for a touchdown. Not 2 minutes later, they pick off a pass and return it for a touchdown. So there you go. Their special teams, their defense setting the tone for their night.
Coach Smith said if we're going to be the kind of team I think we can be, he said, Rick, we have to do better in our special teams. The kicking game's still struggling, but the coverage has been outstanding, the coverage teams. And, of course, we know what they can do if you decide to kick it to them. They've proved that. Dempsey, a low line drive. Kicks it to Shane Bennett at the 13. Clock will run out to the 20. Shane runs to the 25. We'll go down to 27. 3 quarters in the books from Bill Brown Stadium. All Fleming, 34-6. Ron and I back with 4th quarter action after this. You're listening to Bruins football here on WFNR.
I think it's irrelevant where you live or how many people live in your community. It's America. America's the target, not just New York. It's everywhere. And we all have to pitch in. It's time to get serious about preparation. The threat is very real. We know that. And there are some positive things that you can do to better prepare yourself and your family to deal with these problems.
Learn to protect yourself at ready.gov or call for a free brochure.
It's commonly found in the transverse segment of the colon with vascular congestion and smooth surface. Typically, the biopsy proved to be a tubulovillous adenoma.
It's a polyp! Why doesn't he just come right out and say it? It's a polyp.
Sir, do you mind?
Look at your textbook. Could I see that pointer?
We got one. Stopping colon cancer is simple. Get the polyp early and stop colon cancer before it even starts.
Wait.
Just get the test.
I need the credits.
Get the polyp.
Attica! Oh, shut up!
Get the cure.
Maybe check in with him one more time before we get out of here tonight. 34-6. Colonels. Blacksburg will switch it up now, go from right to left. Still a full 12 minutes to play.
You know, Rick, it just goes to show you, if you too many times playing with danger, giving them good field position, too many times in a row like that, it's going to get you burned.
All set eye. Nope, now it's going to be a split backfield for Blacksburg. Now you just want to build something positive. Build something positive so you can show the kids can bounce back. 3-step drop by Half, and Ingebretson was wide open at the 35. The pass just a bit behind him. That would have been a first down catch after the run. Instead, it's an incompletion and a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, again, they had a little blitz going. They got to him, but it was a well-designed play. Ingebretson took about 5 yards and just stepped across the middle wide open. Probably could have run 15 or 20 yards that time, Rick.
And there's what we're talking about. Look at that stat. You just got handed to us. Total yards, Blacksburg actually outgaining them by 21, 167 to 146. It's been special teams, field position, and the defense for Fleming. That's what's been the difference.
I'd love to know where the average start has been in the second half for Fleming every time they've gotten the football.
Receiver to each side of the field for 2nd down and 10. House going to keep it, turn it up at the 30. Here he goes, 35, 40, 45, 50. Can he outrun the defense? Well, that's a silly question. DeJuan Curtis is going to catch him at the 20-yard line. There's that positive play. That's what you needed. Big run there by Half, and that's the first time that play has worked all night long.
Well, that time, Rick, he didn't hand it to the fullback. That time he kept the football. Everybody crashed on the fullback. He pulled it out. I think even he was a little surprised at how wide open he was.
52-yard scamper by Half. And
he was, as he came down the field, he was looking around like, where'd they go?
Why did I ask if he could outrun the Fleming defense?
Yeah, that was
a silly question.
Yeah.
I think DeJuan Curtis caught him from about 20 yards behind the play. But still, Half has great wheels. I formation, Half. And the ball's on the turf. That time he tried to hand it to the fullback. Fumble, recovered by Fleming. Gresham got it this time. You go back to the play that really hasn't had a chance all night long.
Well, You know, I don't know what to say. That time it looked like it was a clean handoff. It looked like somebody just got a hand in there and slapped the ball out of it. I couldn't really tell from the angle we were at, Rick.
So after a huge play, start to feel a little better about yourself. You put it on the turf, Fleming right there. And well, if you're a Fleming offensive player, now where the game is a lot of fun for you. You're up by 28. We'll see how.
First team offense still on the field.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's interesting, isn't it?
Haven't called off the dogs yet.
Coach Smith leaves them out there. Offset eye and Hicks under center. It's going to be a handoff. This is Blake, breaks the tackle, still going. Going to try to reverse field to 20. Look at this run. 25-30, still on his feet. Sidesteps another defender. He gets it all the way out to the 33, a gain of 14 yards, and you won't see a prettier 14-yard run all year long.
No. Again, there's some highlights being made here tonight. I don't know how much will be shown on WJ at 11:30, but make sure you tune in TV Tuesday night because you will definitely see some highlight films.
Wow, that's all you can say on a run like that. He looked like Ahmad Bradshaw last week.
Yeah, he did.
You know, getting something out of nothing. Unbelievable run by Blake. He's the sole tailback now. You have, look at that, you bring your tight end. I'm amazed they put Gresham line up in the backfield. This is Kitchens this time. And it's going to be Blake, one-on-one in the open field, 35, breaks a tackle. And again, he's a physical player. He lowers his head and he wants the contact. He gets 4 more yards. Sells the Price there to make the stop along with Brandon Chinnery for Blacksburg.
But you got to respect one thing. Little Andrew Collins out there took him head on, didn't he?
He took him head on. It wasn't a good idea as it resulted, but at least he lowered his head and got into the play.
Yeah.
We're now under 10 minutes. It's all Fleming here tonight from Bill Brown Stadium, 34-6. We'll be off next Friday, and in 2 weeks, Blacksburg will play host to Lord Botetourt. First down, or check that, second down, and about 7 yards. They're going to hand it off to Priest. He spins, initial contact again inside the 44-yard line. Going to spot it about a yard shy of the first down. Sails again on the play, along with Shane Bennett. Third down, we'll call it a very short 2. We'll have our famous Anthony's player of the game for Blacksburg. Have all the scores for you from Marty Gordon. Recap tonight's stats, scoring numbers for you. Third down for William Fleming. Handoff to the fullback. Was that Kitchens? I think it was. And he got his first down to about the 44.
And drug a lot of Blacksburg players with him that time.
Just played it safe, trying to run the clock and give the big 6'4 linebacker a chance. He lines up in the backfield and let him just carry the football. So the Colonels, they're going to go to 3-0. Blacksburg's going to have a week to heal from this, literally and physically, I think.
Yeah.
You know, theoretically and literally. I mean, this is a situation where they've been beat up tonight by this William Fleming team. They've been more physical, and they've been ready to come out from the get-go and prove that they are the team to beat in this region. Mission accomplished. Gresham goes in motion to the near side. They're going to toss it that way. This is Priest. And good job that time by Blacksburg. You had 4 blue jerseys right there. Price, Hurdle, Sales was there, Bennett, Frederick, Bakari. Again, Price slow in getting up, but he's a warrior. He's going to stay out onto the field.
Alan Price has just absolutely played his heart out tonight.
Second down, a loss of 2 on the play, Ron.
If anything good comes from this loss, it certainly shows these other kids that this one's still working hard.
Blacksburg's put it on the turf 7 times.
All on the same play.
All on the same play. 2 of those have been lost. So again, just the little things, the mistakes Coach Chris talked about, and I think now you have Blacksburg jumping across, getting a little too anxious before the snap. And Alan Price over here on the near sideline, absolutely exhausted. Taking a breather, well-deserved breather.
He played well tonight. He played very well.
So now it's going to be second down. Ball's going to be at the 47-yard line. Roberts to the left. DeJuan Curtis split to the near side. I formation once again for Fleming. Play action. They fake the pass, and Blacksburg ate it up as Priest got hit in the backfield and finally goes down. Frederick was there. Bakari. Good job that time by the Bruins as they're going to spot this football all the way back to the 8-yard line. It's going to be a loss of a full 7 yards.
Yeah, that time Blacksburg really rallied to the football and put a lot of helmets on that kid.
7:15 to go, 34-6. Rick Watson, Ron Walton with you from Bill Brown Stadium. We've had better news in the early part of this season than we have tonight for Blacksburg.
But, you know, one of these losses can really turn a season around. I mean, you know, the kids really know that the work ethic it's going to take now each week to prepare for each team that comes along. And it kind of knocks that little chip you had on your shoulder, kind of puts it back on there again.
Fleming again, offset eye. Look at Hicks. This time he's going to keep it. He can run too. 40, 45 on the option, and takes it out to about the 47-yard line. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 7 yards. 6:38 to go. Good job by the officiating crew to step in between the two teams. A little extracurricular activities there.
Yeah, when it gets like this, Rick, you just have some frustrated folks.
See Jerron Giddings down here, basketball star for Blacksburg. 6'9". He's been recruited by a number of schools in the ACC. UCLA was looking at him for a while, so very talented young man. You're going to hear his name a lot in coming years.
Probably wanted to get with a decent program.
Yeah, exactly. I think he called off that recruit.
No need to make that.
Yeah, no need to worry about that. Ben Howell, UCLA's new coach, was on him when he was at Pittsburgh. Here's a very nice job by Dempsey, Ron. They came in. They hit the punter, but they're not going to throw the flag, I don't believe, as Dempsey went down hard. Coach Smith can't believe it. He's out onto the field at the 50. And I got to agree with him here. His punter got clobbered. No flag was thrown, and that was a beautiful spiral. It was not returned. It went all the way down to the 10-yard line. And Coach Smith wants an explanation.
Yeah,
I can't say I blame him.
If that ball was tipped or touched, that sure didn't look like it as it in flight, did it?
That was a spiral. Usually when they're touched, it changes that trajectory. But in any event, it doesn't matter a whole lot except for the fact that now Blacksburg has another possession deep inside their own territory. And you're right, Ron. This has been the case all night long in this second half at least. I mean, time of possession has been dominated by Fleming, field position dominated by Fleming, and with 5:51 to go, Blacksburg's just trying to play out the final 5:45.
I think you said it earlier. We need some confidence builders here.
Here's Bennett taking the handoff from his quarterback, Half. Nice run. Across the 15. Ball came out late. Half signaled it was down. He was right. It's going to be 2nd down and 5. Well, it's going to be a gut check early in the season for Blacksburg. No doubt about it. Fleming's going to be able to breeze into their next game 3-0, feeling great about themselves. We'll keep up with that Williamsburg-Salem game. And now Blacksburg has a week off, Ron, to regroup, take on Lord Botetourt, and then you go on the road for a while. So
yeah.
Not going to be an easy second half of the season. Then you get closer to district play, and that's when it's all laid on the table for you. I formation, receiver to each side of the field for 2nd and 5. Half, hands off. This is Turley, fullback. Maybe a yard. He squirted ahead across the 16-yard line as he was hit hard up front by Devon Hall for Fleming.
Again, that first step option where give your first option to the fullback. They've given it to the fullback, I know, 10 times tonight, maybe 12. Fumbled it about half the time. It's just not there.
So 3rd down and long yardage, a long 4 as we've approached the 5-minute plateau in this one. Some other close games going on. 2 receivers out to the right. Turley and Bennett lined up in the eye behind Howe. Quarterback under center. He fumbles the snap. Ball's loose. Fleming has it again. Unbelievable. The 9th time they've put it on the turf. The 3rd time it's been turned over. Gresham got it at the 15, and that's just a lack of concentration. That's all you can attribute that to. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, just again, that was in the transition in the snap between the center and the quarterback, and Half just didn't come out with the football very cleanly. It hit the ground, and Half made a desperate dive for it, but the Fleming kid was quicker.
So now the Colonels will finally put some new players into the game for Coach Smith. We're going to see some new skill players. The backup quarterback, though, is their starting safety, Esteban Barrett. We've seen him, the kind of athlete he is.
That's not much of a second team, Rick.
They're going to bring him out, then 2 receivers to the right. Now you have a backfield of Dennis Hardy and Jamar Preston. Preston is your tailback. Movement up front. See if Fleming may have jumped a little soon. I think so here on the right side of the offensive line.
You know, I was watching Esteban Barrett throw the football before the game started. This kid has got a better gun on him than your starting quarterback. In fact, he is extremely accurate. I doubt they'll let him throw in this particular situation, but Blacksburg might want to look for him to air it a little bit more than the starter did.
5-yard penalty against the Fleming offense. It's going to make it 1st and 15 from the 20-yard line. Barrett takes the snap. He hands off. This is Preston cutting back inside the 20-yard line to about the 16. Sam Wheeler knocked him down there. It's going to be 2nd down and about 11 yards.
I think William Fleming at this point in time just really trying to call the dogs off, and you know, they're like anybody else, just like Blacksburg was last week, and you're in the Giles game. It's time to, you know, let some other kids play, because later on in the year you're going to need that depth.
Late flag onto the play, and unsportsmanlike conduct against Fleming's going to take the football all the way back to the 32-yard line.
Alan Price coming out of the Blacksburg defensive lineup now for a well-deserved rest. That might be a hit for him tonight.
I think it should be. Again, he has played his heart out, Alan Price. Fleming, you have to tip your hat to them. They couldn't get it going early, but they made plays. The offense sputtered because of Blacksburg's defensive performance, but the special teams got it started. The defense finished it off, and they have ever since. As there's a handoff to Preston for about a yard to the 32-yard line.
Well, I'm sure it won't be a fun conversation, but we'll head down now and we'll talk to Coach Chris at the end of the game.
Well, good luck. Ron Walton's going to go down and talk with the Blacksburg head coach. And again, it will be more of a somber mood, as Ron mentioned, going into the locker room tonight as it was the first 2 games. Movement on time on the left side of the line for William Fleming. 3:14 to go. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 33-yard line from the 38. We'll get another scoreboard update from Marty Gordon coming up. We will also have all the numbers for you from this one tonight. Hear from Coach Chris. And select our famous Anthony's player of the game as we've hit the 3-minute mark. Split backfield. Here's a handoff, and it's going to go to a new ball carry into the game for the first time. Charles Carrington over right tackle. No gain. It's going to be 3rd down and 33. That's about a $20 taxi cab ride, isn't it? Going to go from Blacksburg to Dublin. A long way to go. But Fleming right now, they don't care. They've taken over since late in the first quarter and haven't looked back. 2 big plays, one by the special teams and then another by the defense, and Blacksburg could never recover. 3rd down and a lot of room for William Fleming with 2:25 left. They play it safe, hand it off to Hardy, the fullback. Look at that strong run by Hardy inside the 30, the 29-yard line. He got 11 yards. It's going to bring up 4th down. They won't punt it. They'll just run one more play, and hopefully Blacksburg will be able to keep from getting the first. And they'll have their offense out on the field to close things up tonight. Good crowd on hand, but they were taken out of this game in that 2nd quarter. Never really got it back. The defense, again, has played well overall. You might say, how can you say that with 34 points on the board? But they've only allowed really 1 sustained drive the entire evening. It's resulted into points. Everything else has been because of the special teams defense and the short field. 1:45 to go. Out of the eye they'll work. They hand it off this time to the fullback, DeAndre Robinson, and he's held for only a minimal gain, and that means possession will change back to Blacksburg with 1:39 to play. A couple more plays, and this one will be in the books. And this is going to be a score that's going to surprise some folks just because of the deficit, 28 points. .30-yard line, the ball will be spotted. Ron Walton's going to be down with Dave Chris coming up momentarily. You know, he got down there pretty quick. He's in better shape than he's letting on. 30-yard line. Daniel Smith back out. Offense in the eye. Collins is your tailback. Fullback for Blacksburg, Ross Chappelle. Smith takes a snap. 3-step drop over the middle. He's looking. Ball is caught, then dropped. Tim Clemens had it, but a good defensive play by Mawan Curtis as the starting defense came back out for Fleming. It's now going to be 2nd down and 10, 1:33 to go. And a lot of schmack being talked out onto the field right now. Penalty on the play, as a matter of fact, is going to give Blacksburg a first down. 15 yards, so it must have been a personal foul. Nope, they're going to call pass interference against William Fleming. Pass interference takes the ball to the 45-yard line. Minute 33 to go. Smith under center. Will work out the I formation. Receiver to each side of the field again. Daniel Smith going to throw it out to the right. That's Collins. Cuts it up at the 35. He's hit hard and will be tackled forward. Priest hit him. Finishing him off that time was Blake Taylor. Again, their starting defense back out there with the 28-point lead. Minute 20 to go. Fleming will go to 3-0, looking by far the best team in the Blue Ridge. Blacksburg falls to 2-1. A week to regroup. We'll be back on with the air with you in 2 weeks against Lord Botetourt Cavaliers. On the air at 7:30, the kickoff. Second down and 8. Smith, four-step drop, jump pass across the middle, incomplete, intended for number 89, Courtney Myers, 5'11", 175-pound senior. Third down and 8, 53 seconds to go. The Bruins, a lot of season left. This is a non-district game now, so you still have your 5 district games ahead of you, and some valuable lessons will be learned. How will a team respond to adversity early in the season? We will now find out. It's easy to have things going your way and be positive when things are going well, but how do you respond when you get punched in the face? Do you fight back or do you just hide away in a corner? I got a feeling this team's going to come out fighting back in 2 weeks when Lord Botetourt comes to town. Flag on the play before the snap of the football. And the end of this game is really dragging on. Legal substitution penalty against William Fleming. Be interesting to hear the comments of Coach Christ after tonight's contest. Don't forget you can watch the replay of this game coming up Monday, 7 o'clock on WTOB Channel 2. Again on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Third down and a short 2. I formation, they hand it off. It's going to be Chappelle. He has his first down as he charges ahead to about the 42 of William Fleming. 48 ticks to go. Nice first down run by Chappelle. Official rolls his arm, and the clock will start up once again. Fleming goes to 3-0. Blacksburg will fall to 2-1. And still what is a very young high school football season. 30 seconds. Smith throws it out to the right. This is Collins as he cuts it up. There's a nice run. Andrew's going to take it all the way to the 25-yard line. Andrew Collins. Every time he carries the ball in the fourth quarter, something good happens. He's going to make this a first down from the 25 with just 20 seconds to go. And one more snap, and this one will probably be in the books here tonight from Bill Brown Stadium as they move the chains and the clock is rolling once again. Could be the final play of this one with 8 seconds. Smith under center. Blacksburg will get the snap off with 4 seconds. 2 seconds. There it is. Final play. Collins tossed to the near side. He's at the 25. He's going to spin away. He's going to go down at the 20. 5-yard gain, 7-yard gain, but that's it. Final score, William Fleming, 34. Blacksburg 6. We will take a break, and we will come back with Ron Walton's comments with Dave Christ after this. You're listening to Blacksburg Bruins football on WFNR.